You are now listening to the Old Head, New Head podcast with your hosts, Eric Iberg and Ethan Schaefer.
Goddamn kids.
Shut up, old man!
Round 2B.
Round 2, there we go. Now we're much better. How you doing?
How are you?
Everything's good. I'm at my girlfriend's place in Long Beach, California.
What, the LBC?
LBC, you know me. Yeah, connected to the wrong
Who are we
Wi-Fi.
talking to today, quick?
What's up?
Who are we talking to today?
We're talking to Pete Koukov, a.k.a. Egg.
Okay, Pete. That's what I just wanted to make sure. Watched a bunch of shit, but I was like, man, forgot it. I want to make sure I'm good.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you're watching the whole Strictly crew, it could be any of a dozen people.
Yeah, it's all confusing to me. So I think this one's going to... And would you consider him a filmmaker? Or is he an athlete slash filmmaker? Or an athlete that's a filmmaker?
I would consider Pete a writer, producer. That's what I would consider him.
Okay, yeah, it'll be fun. Do you have any idea how old he is? I didn't do that.
I think Pete's maybe 1 or 2 years older than me.
Okay.
Yeah, but he was part of crew Strictly for a long time, and that's why I wanted to have him on, man. Like, the Strictly's impact over the past few years was nuts, and they stopped making movies. And I talked to him maybe 2 years ago, so maybe just after they stopped making movies. So I'd like to know more about what's going on. Obviously, you get to learn his whole life story. It's pretty interesting, and you get to learn more about their business side of filmmaking, because I think, you know, over the past 10 years, they've had one of the most successful street crews, or just film crews, because they film the Powder too. So they got
I'm interested. I picked Phil's brain on it today, so
yeah,
enlightened me.
yeah. And before we get him in here, what you smoking on there?
I am fucking stoked once again. Big up Ross Jacob over at fucking Dark Horse Farms here in Minnesota. Always supplying me with my THC and CBD needs. They'll hook you up too. And then I got rolled my shit up in something. And then I always trade Blazy at Blazy Susan, man, for always supplying my rolling papers. Super stoked. As you can tell, I'm fucking stoked. This is my first pregame. I've been drinking already.
And you're still at the bachelor pad, of course.
Yeah, this is my last show here. Off to Quebec on Friday, and then Andorra. So who knows if I got at this location anymore after this episode? Like I'm not going to be sleeping.
Yeah, it'll be possible. You don't want to cut in on you and Phil time, though. Come on now.
It's still skiing, man. Why do you think I'm doing a podcast, man? Everything relates. Everything relates to what we all do.
Yep. All right, let's get Pete in here. This will be another one where I'll be letting you take the primary part of the first half, because you got to learn his story. Did you listen to the episode I did with him, or did you leave that? Okay.
No. So I mean, if you can direct it a little bit, I'd be stoked. Yeah. Like we can do it chronological. I'm just gonna pick his brain mostly on the filming stuff and like his generation of that, because he was in it for the last 10 years, which was kind of vital.
Yeah. And another thing I loved about Pete last time I had him on, well-spoken. The crowd loved him. Like, we immediately got tons of views on it. And, I could have picked anyone from that crew, and I already knew him. So I was like, I know that he could speak to all this stuff. And he's business-minded, too, which we love on this show. We love business.
Trying to learn it.
Yeah. I'm editing the Joss episode right now. It's a doozy. Talk about business. That's a 6 hours of business right there.
That was a long one. That was a long one. I'm going to give you a preamp. I'm going to be taking potty breaks.
All right, let's see. Pete will be in soon. Yeah, man, it's funny. We're switching roles. This is where I will be for the rest of the recordings. I will be in Long Beach for the rest of summer, and then now you're hitting the road.
Road time, man. Winter's here. Fucking less than a month. Fucking everyone's buying ski shit.
Yo.
There he is.
What's going on?
Greetings. Thank you much for being on here tonight. I appreciate it a lot, man. Stoked to fucking.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's nice to meet you. I don't know if we've met before.
I don't think so. I was trying to put in too, but nice to meet you as well. I've heard a lot about what you do and all that shit over the last 10 years. So nice. I didn't know there was a face to the projects.
Yeah, for sure. Sick.
Pete, are you at the same spot we were at when we recorded 2 years ago?
No, I'm not. I'm at a different house, different crib.
Sick. I remember you.
Where are you in life right now?
Huh?
Where are you right now in the world?
I'm in Denver. I live in Denver. Yeah, I've been here for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Where are you guys?
Last time you recorded, you were underneath the airport or something. We kept on getting fucking airplanes flying over.
Really? I think it was my cat or my dog was like, the dog at the time was fucking around, huh?
Something was going on. Yeah, but I'm in California right now, Long Beach.
Cool.
And I'm in
Is that where you live?
Minnesota in my garage.
Sick.
Yeah, Iberg's at his home base. I'm in my girlfriend's spot. Iberg's got a little he's got a little spiel that he gives everyone just so they can get a sense of what's going on. So we'll hop.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I guess what we kind of do here, the reason why we wanted to do this show, Ethan and I, is I was privileged to be on the Two Plank podcast last winter. And we talked for a while, and I thought it was super fun. I realized Ethan's like 26 years old, and I'm 44. And I was like, wow, man, there's so much I don't get. And I got it when I was like 19, and was like, everyone old is fucking retarded. You know, and so like I always think about it when I listen to stuff and I see stuff that the youth do that I don't understand, but I'm like, I have no real opinion because I'm not putting as much time and energy in that location, so I don't have a valid opinion anymore. So I was like, all right, and I just want to learn why kids do what they do now, why they make movies, why they ski, why they compete. And so like when we started this, I was like, so it's called the New Head, Old Head podcast, or Old Head, New Head podcast. And we do an old guy 1 week that's like an icon, and we teach the direction they took, the path they created on their own, which is always different. So we can kind of teach that to the people that are listening, and then talk to the young people that have created shit, done unique, awesome things, and see why they do it. Because that's what's most interesting to me, because I don't get why any youth does anything. And so I was
which one am I? Am I old or young?
You're 27, I learned? 20.
Yeah.
So you're the oldest new head.
Okay, word. That's sick.
So when we look at it, so I mean, we have like our oldest one, when we had Johnny Mosley, he's 50 or 49, right? Yeah. And then I think the youngest is Ed Joy at 20.
Yeah, it's got to be Ed Joy as the youngest.
He's like 20 or 19 even.
Yeah, so we kind of have this range of just totally all the way from like mid 90s till today.
That's dope. Hell yeah. How many, you guys haven't put any of these out yet though, have you? Or am I just...
None of them.
We're going to put them out weekly starting in September.
We've been doing this.
Just to warn you, our
word.
average show time is approximately 3 hours with our max show of 7 hours.
Jesus. All right, well... I ate a little bit before this, but I might get hungry in a little bit.
I only say it to scare you, man. It's just...
it's all good. I mean, Ethan and I did a 2 or 3 hour one. It felt like 30 minutes. It was really enjoyable, so...
Yeah.
Who knows?
It was super
Yeah. Hopefully I got new shit to say. I don't want it to be too similar to the other one.
I've never met you, man. Yeah. I know nothing about you, so I get to poke all these fun questions.
That's true, yeah. I'm hyped. Let's get into it.
I want to experiment with something first really quick, just because the mic, I feel like, might be better on your laptop. I don't know if you could... you
want me to try?
Yeah, well, if you might not even have to take off your headphones. If you could just, on Zoom, you see in the bottom left corner, it says audio. Are you on phone or on a laptop?
I'm on a laptop, but...
Okay, yeah, so there's like the little arrow next to the mic.
Yeah.
It says...
Yep. And then you could do select...
Internal microphone.
Yeah, try that.
How's this sound?
Oh, way better.
Yep.
hear you. I can listen through the headphones, but the audio is better.
Yes. Okay, this is perfect. Yeah, you were sounding a little underwater before, but you're good. Yeah, so we'll cover some of the same stuff we covered with the episode, just because Iberg doesn't know you, and I'm sure a lot of the old heads don't know you. But that's why I wanted to have you on as well, because it's been 2 years already since we last had you on, so there's definitely some more stuff, new stuff to cover. We're going to talk about the video side, but yeah, let's give everyone a little background that doesn't know you, where you're from originally, and we'll learn about a young Pete.
All right. What is up? My name is Pete Koukov. I am originally born. I was born in London, England, and I lived there till I was 8 years old. And then I moved from London to Boulder, Colorado, which is kind of like, that's where I consider where I grew up, just because I was young. Like, I remember England obviously, but like I kind of like became the person I was growing up in Boulder. So I started skiing at Eldora. It was kind of where I like found skiing, I guess you could say. And then I lived in Boulder through high school and through college. I went to CU there and then moved to Denver. I've been living in Denver ever since I graduated school. Just been skiing, traveling, doing
How
the
did
thing,
you grow up in
making
skiing?
videos.
You come from London.
So
Was it just because there was a mountain and you're in mountain lands now?
no, so my parents grew up. They're not. My mom is from London. My dad is from Iran. Actually, he's from the Middle East, and he grew up skiing there, which is sick. So he's loved skiing his whole life. He's always loved outdoors. So I learned how to ski when I was 2 years old. We would go on like holiday, or like, we'd go on vacation for like 2 weeks out of the year to France or wherever, and then that would be like my winter. I didn't really know. I was just learning how to ski. I didn't really like know that I liked skiing until we moved to the U.S. So I moved to Colorado. And
Did you ever get to go to ski in Iran as a kid?
No, I would think that would be really fucking cool. I've never been. Honestly, my dad has never been back. During the revolution, he kind of got exiled. His dad was a successful Jewish businessman, and at that time, that wasn't okay. So my dad was 18. He moved to the U.S. and he started going to school in Boston, and he hasn't been back ever since. Probably never will.
Did your dad's parents leave as well?
Yeah, so my dad's entire family left. His dad, so my granddad, got put in jail for 5 years. They didn't see...
Because he was a Jewish businessman.
Because he was successful and Jewish, and they didn't like that. So he was put in jail for 5 years, and no one saw him the entire time. Everybody moved to the U.S. because they had to leave, and thankfully he was able to leave, which wasn't the case for everyone, actually. He got out of jail and moved to the U.S., and then both of my grandparents are dead, but they lived in New York for like. So
no one from your family has ever gone back.
I don't know the answer to that, but probably not. It was, I don't know. I don't even know if it would be like a good idea. I don't know.
That's what I'm wondering, because I know people go skiing there, and so I'm wondering.
The skiing there is. I would love to. The skiing there is like sick too. It's like definitely legit. So it'd be fun to like produce a video that's like with a little more story to it, a little more backstory.
When Ahmet went to all those,
like Kazakhstan or something, anywhere, it would definitely be sick to do something there one day. If someone wants to support that, and you're listening, hit me up.
The world is crazy. Could you even imagine right now? Like they just imagine they shoot a missile at Israel and then you go ski in Iran. Like the world is special.
Yeah. I don't know. Who knows? It definitely, there's some political shit to think about too before just going there. But it would, as far as just scenery and skiing in a pretty place, that'd be something dope.
Yep. Google Iran skiing if you didn't think Iran had skiing. Anyone who's listening, it is pretty awesome looking. So you move over, you get into skiing because it's close and your family's into it. Do you get into any programs when you're a kid?
So I pretty much just followed my older brother and their friends around. And I did 1 year of like Saturday coaching at Breck, like just on the weekends when I was a sophomore in high school. And that's like the only formal training of skiing I ever had. It's mostly just like, honestly, until I got to college, I was just kind of like a weekend warrior. And like, I think I just loved skiing so much that I was able to like make it work. But
so you were just about the pure idea of skiing. Like there was nothing else about magazines or movies or anything.
No, I watched everything. I was watching it all. I was on newscores every single fucking day, all day long.
Okay,
yeah.
so then we got to rewind. I went to like become a super. How do you become a super fan if you're not in a structure, right? You don't have
older sibling and their friends. And, like, they were super into it, and I got into it. And, like, level 1 at the time, like, I went to the world premiere of Refresh. Like, that was in Boulder, you know? I was, like, 10 years old or maybe even younger. Like, just the young blood. Like, I was there with my older brother who's hanging out with their friends, and I'm, like, the annoying little kid kind of who's, like, backpacking. Like, my mom's like, you got to let him go with you type shit. And I would just be there, like, front row, just like, holy shit, like, this is the coolest shit ever.
So you watch all this. Is that what you emulate then when you ski? Like, are you going out and trying to do tricks every day in the park, or are you just skiing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know. We moved, so I was, like, 8. By the time I was, like, 9 or 10, I could do, like, threes and, like, hit boxes and stuff. And then it just, like, started progressing, and I think when I was like 11 or 12, Eldora stopped having a park, so I started going to Eldora, which is like 30 minutes from Boulder. They like shut down their park program for a little bit of time, and so we started going to like Keystone and Breck, and I feel like that's where shit like really started kind of like making sense. Like I was getting better, like I was skiing with people that were better, I was seeing just pros all the time.
Here's my question. You're a 10-year-old or so at Refresh premiere in your front row, and you see all the actual people that are in the movies physically there, autographs, stuff like this. Idea of the year. You're the most influential person that you could ever be influenced by anything. And everything's like superstars, superheroes. It's all real in front of you. Did you have a favorite at the time then as a 10 or 11-year-old that were like, that's my favorite skier in the world?
I definitely, so I don't know if I got the timing right, but like Downey and Hornbeck, I went to Wendell's when I was 12. Downey was my coach, which is sick now because like I see him and just like smoke weed or whatever together and just like shoot the shit, and it's like total normal. But it's funny to be like a 12-year-old and like Downey is your coach and like Hornbeck was coaching and like all this. Like that was like the gold. That was the golden era. Yeah, that was the golden era too of like just skiing in general. I feel like, and it was cool to be like a fanboy at the time, like full blown fanboy, like super ski nerd, and like I definitely had friends that were into skiing, but like not really to the level that I was. I feel like I just had the passion a little bit more, and that's kind of like why I'm still out here doing it, as opposed to like, you know, like when I got to college, like people start falling off, you know, but I was still just down with it and meeting new people that were down with it. And then even like after college, it's like, you know, I shouldn't be skiing still, but made it work one way or another.
So your youth, you were at the very end of like physical ski movies. Did you ever get a ski movie in your life?
Yeah, okay, so we can backtrack a little bit. My brother and I, someone along the line had like war and like ski porn. I think ski porn was like the first movie I was like, yo, like this shit is gas. And like kind of like that was like the first movie I like had on repeat going on, you know? As
Yeah.
before I kind of like my like introduction, you know? But I don't know if I didn't want to like emulate anything until like level 1, and then like obviously Stepped and like Traveling Circus were like a huge player, and like because that was like my high school, so
Yeah,
you
you're
know
full
you're like,
internet kid. So that's what's
oh
kind of
yeah,
like you're the first person that consumes mass quantity, and you can.
yeah,
Like, it's gotta be
I guess so.
like the time period. I want to get more.
Yeah,
How did you discover New Schoolers? How old were you when you got on there?
probably like 10, not 10 maybe 10,
There you go.
11.
So, like in 2007, pretty pinnacle. Fucking TJ or Simon versus Tanner was the last year
Yeah,
of fitness. Fucking
yeah.
Jazz Gap is still being blown up every other
Oh
post.
yeah, yeah.
What
I
does
was
it tell you
watching
when I
like
think of that website?
I didn't even know it was like a forum. Obviously, I was just there to watch videos, and I feel like I
No
watched
way.
every. Huh?
So you didn't even like, because to me, I only thought it was a forum my whole
No,
life.
probably not. Probably not until. So maybe it was like a little bit later. Maybe I was like 12, let's say, and I would just like watch like video, like like the era of like tramp videos and like longboard videos. Like that's what
Yeah.
I remember a lot. Like not just the scene, but like summertime new schoolers. It's I feel like I would just watch like every single one of those videos. Just I don't know why. Just on some nerd, on some like
That's
young
when you
like
weren't
nerd
skiing.
shit. Who exactly, and that's all I genuinely like. All I cared about and wanted to do was go skiing. Like I would just be in school, and like all I cared about was the weekend so that I could go skiing. And like yeah,
I couldn't
even in like high
imagine as a
school.
kid being able to consume ski
Yeah.
content. In the summer. Like, it's just unfathomable. As like a super fan
Right?
of it as a kid.
Yeah, and now it's like who even knows how that shit's working now? Just Instagram, I guess. But
Dude, all these
It's like-
laptops now, they're consume. Imagine this, Iberg. Imagine bringing your fucking VHS player and TV to school and watching it under your desk while you're in
I
class.
can't imagine.
All
I mean,
of
I
it.
drew pictures
All of
of people doing Daffies and Cossacks in my notebook, and that was as close to skiing as I got.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't have it. Like, I guess we'd have like computer class or whatever, like couple days a week in like middle school. I'm trying to remember, and like we'd definitely be watching fucking ski videos and playing Marshmallow when we had like computer time. You know?
Marshmallow. Fuck yeah.
Marshmallow, like
Rider?
Line Rider. I was just gonna say Line Rider. Yeah, we were all about
That
that.
was my jam from 2007 to
For
9.
sure. Yeah, I was definitely playing that too.
For anyone that
Throwbacks, dude,
really
that's
wants to
crazy.
live like Line Rider in 2024, my child plays an app called Moto 3. Like Line Rider, but you want to fucking motocross. It's fucking awesome. So, you know,
You draw the map too?
What's that?
You draw your own map?
No, I want to make a ski game though, like an app where it's just like Line Rider because it's so easy now. And then just make like a funny 2-dimensional, just a line game where make your own maps.
Damn, I mean, that'd be pretty sick on the phone or like the iPad because you can just draw it with your finger. It's probably way easier.
Exact, man. I play my kid's game more than he does when he pulls it out. It's so fun.
Sick.
So movies, young, 12 years old, you're dicking around. Like, so
You ever watch any of Iberg's? You ever watch any of Iberg's movies as a kid?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's still more of a couple, or like, I was definitely a big Inspired fan, and like B&E was just huge for me. Like that was definitely like an inspiration, no doubt. I genuinely like whatever time period I like can't really like pinpoint how old I was at Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying is I can't really pinpoint before high school. I can't really pinpoint like exactly what I was watching. I mean, maybe if you know the years, I could tell you of certain
So
things.
junior high and high school, are you just shredding, or are you starting to film your friends? Are you starting to make your own edits, put them on new schoolers?
Just shredding, straight up, just shredding. I don't think I really. Maybe like later years in high school, and then when I got into college, we started making like the Totally Trevor videos and the Pork Frat stuff. Or
That was you.
So
You're a totally Trevor.
Totally Trevor had been doing. Totally Trevor had been doing it, and then I like met up with all his kids in college because we all went to the same school, and we were just making fuck shit videos.
That's awesome. We are going to. So
Yeah.
Okay, so this is super fun. So you get into get bolder now. Like skiing is just awesome to you. There's like, because you're the first person I would talk to like this, right? Where it's not like an obsession, addiction. Like I'm gonna fucking create something amazing physically or artistically.
Yeah.
And so like that's why I find it interesting, because you were able to do that in such a late stage. When but I guess I didn't either. I didn't even say I was going to quit anything until 18, 19. So you're at college. When's your first big thing in college? Are you still there?
I'm surprised that you even knew who Totally Trevor was.
It was like the first character that really wasn't a skier.
Yeah, he's still as weird as he was. Let's see.
That's awesome. I'm happy he's still alive.
Yeah, you gotta see his Instagram. He's like shaved head. He's fucking weirdo. All right, Egg, let's see what's going on.
Egg.
I said low bandwidth or something, and I don't know.
Yeah, here we go. I think if it happens again, you might need to move inside or something. I don't know if, unless it's like a spot you usually get internet. But
I mean, I got internet, but who knows? Maybe I'll move inside.
Yeah. So
for now we're good though.
We're talking college years because, like Iberg said, like you're one of the first people we talked to that's not like, oh, I got a dream to do something big. You're our first like just super duper fan.
Honestly, I never thought I mean, obviously, I wanted to be a pro skier growing up. Like that was the dream, but I didn't really know what that looked like or what that meant like at all. I still don't. I don't. Yeah. Especially like my path, it's like I didn't compete or anything. It was just became a thing, like making videos, and it just turned into, we started doing Strictly, and that was that, I guess. But yeah, as far as college, but also really quick, my mom, while we went dark, I looked at my phone. My mom texted me. We moved to Colorado from London 19 years ago today. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that means anything, but yeah, that's funny. We were just talking about it, and then I just got that text.
That's crazy.
But yeah, college. So went to CU, just right 10 minutes from my house. Lived in the dorms, met like Trevor and like that crew and Tanner Matow and stuff. I don't know.
So was Totally Trevor already on? Did you know Totally Trevor because of New Schoolers when you met him?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, absolutely.
So he was a celebrity.
I mean, I think we knew each other, but it wasn't until I was like in college that it like, and I was like skiing skiing well enough and like partying and stuff that it like made sense. They're not just gonna be like hanging out with some high school kid. So yeah, we were like doing that, and it was just for shits. Like it wasn't really like everyone who was like doing that just had fun doing it, and I always like had fun doing it, but wanted to. Like,
can you explain what it was? Because I didn't like. All I know is Totally Trevor. Was a guy on New Schoolers who did weird shit, and then explain to me what Totally Trevor was.
And a lot of it.
Also, could you include how old Trevor was when you knew him? Because he was still in college, and I think he was like mid-late 20s, still in college.
He was probably like 26 even, and like I don't know. I think.
So you're an 18-year-old freshman partying with a 26-year-old super senior?
Yeah, I mean, he might have been like 24, 25, or I don't even know at this point. But
Thank you for
yeah,
that. Yeah, so what was
who
Totally
knows?
Trevor?
But anyway, it's just like kind of like satirical skiing videos and like just like random ass shit and like funny skiing, like weird skiing, but also like pretty high level skiing and just like trying to be different and a lot
Why
of
was
just
it
like
weird skiing?
I don't know. That's just kind of like I mean weird skiing as in like just trying new shit that like is different. Like
Okay.
like kind of like a similar tip to like traveling circus. Like obviously no one's as good as Will, but I just mean like just like doing shit at Keystone. At Keystone at the time was like definitely a mecca, and like everyone's like chucking dubs and stuff. Meanwhile, we're like trying to do like switch front flips in the QP and just like random ass like skiing under rails and doing weird taps. Is kind of just how I ski now, but now it's just way more refined. Like I never really was that good. I just like did shit a little bit differently. I feel like.
So what
And
did you
that's
enjoy when you started? Like, so Trevor was already into filming himself, right? Like,
yeah,
so it's
yeah,
that element of producing something.
right.
But my only memory of someone who didn't get super into him but saw him pop up all the time was his antics or his personality.
Right.
Totally Trevor,
Yeah.
the name pops out before anything else. Then the antics pops out, and then I remember there was skiing sprinkled in there.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what it was. It's just like entertainment, and it was at a similar. It was like same timeline as Hood Crew, so it was like kind of on a similar wave.
Yeah, the
Like
not give a fuck idea.
we were almost like the Colorado version of Hood, like not like same but different. Similar concept of like
Well,
not
totally,
pro
Trevor took your whole shine. I didn't even know there was other people in his videos.
Well, it turned into a thing. It turned into Pork Frat. So he had totally Trevor had his thing, and then when it started becoming more people, or like he didn't want it to be called just him, like his name. So he became Pork Frat. Still the same formula. Still
Say the
shit.
name again.
Pork Frat, like a pig, pork, and frat, like fraternity. I don't know. I never really fucked with the name, but I don't know. That's what it
Pork
was.
Frat. That's fun. Do you know the reason behind that name?
I don't know. I think it's just kind of like making fun of like college fraternity vibes. But I don't ever really know. He just said that's what it was one day, and then we made like some movies. I guess you could call them like Pork Frat movies. They just had numbers after them, like Pork Frat 1 or Pork Frat 2. And yeah,
what
it
did
was
you
just
do in these
fucking
movies?
antics.
Were you
I was just skiing.
Okay.
I was just skiing. Yeah, I just wanted to like I was trying to like I guess that was just my only outlet at the time to like show my skiing, and I just wanted to like get clips and like be in the videos. Like I always
You were the youngest one. You were the youngest one.
I was the youngest one. Like I got so much shit. Like everyone was just shitting on me. Like I was just like the young kid, and I definitely was just annoying and wanted to like be in the videos more than I probably should have wanted to, like kind of thing. And like I look back at it now, and it's just funny. Like it's cool to just see like that's kind of like how my ski career started. I guess like that's when I got online and stuff. Like even though it was just like bullshit ass videos. And what's sick is like I don't know about anymore because it's definitely like in the past, but even like when our Strictly films were like popping off, like people would like recognize me and be like, "Yo, are you Pete from like Pork Frat or something?" Or like, "Pork Frat's the reason why I got into skiing." Meanwhile, we're making like these like high production like Strictly films. I'm like, damn, that's actually like pretty fucking sick.
What is, and just to like put in perspective what Totally Trevor did, it was a character. You know, it was just like a B-Dog. It was just like an Idolo. It was a character that people
literally,
and you can remember it more than anything else because there is an actual personality to that skier. And in a time when the personalities were almost dying out, like he could be him and you knew who he was. And why should you know who he is?
Well, I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
Pete can probably
but-
speak to this. Pete can probably speak to this. I don't know if Trevor ever broke character on or off camera, though, right, Pete? Like, isn't that just kind of how he is? Or when he
No, I don't know. It was kind of how it is, but it's definitely like the videos like had bits within the videos that were like not like normal. It's definitely like some cartoon character. Like I wouldn't say acting, but like on camera is definitely a little bit different. You know.
Yeah. So
But he
enhancement was
definitely
already
was.
there. Yeah.
He definitely was like really creative and like had these insane ideas that honestly like did translate on video and like got like people were fucking entertained for sure, you know? Like
Fuck yeah, and they engaged with it.
It was entertaining shit and they would crank up views too, like, you know, I don't know, like it could have probably been something more if we cared a little bit more, I guess. And I think I cared, and I always like wanted it to be more like, oh, I wonder if we can like make money doing this, or like I wonder if like, you know, we can go here, whatever it is. But I don't think everyone was just like comfortable and just enjoyed the fact that it was like just for fun, and like people on the internet liked it, and like that's all it needed to be. And I think end of the day, that's probably for the better. Like
I think so. It would have been so unfun to try to like outdo what you were doing to have fun.
Exactly.
How do we have more fun than we really were having fun?
Yeah,
And it's
exactly.
just getting fun.
Iberg, I got a question for you. Was there anyone back in the day, because it's so much harder to do a series like that when it's everything, it has to be physical products. Was there anyone back in the day that was more of a character than they were a skier that, you know, was around for
everyone was a character.
Okay, yeah. But was there anyone whose character outweighed their talent?
First 10 years of the sport, everyone had to be a character.
Yeah.
Because everyone, just like now, everything is the best. But imagine everyone could do a Switch Rodeo 720 in 2002.
Right.
How are you going to be doper? Boyd Easley is going to be an 80s rocker. Ewan Olsen is the Euro dude with tighter clothes. Mikael Dishno is the gangster-looking kid. Tanner Hall is the other gangster kid that smokes weed. Like every person had a persona and a character, and it was why it was popular. Imagine if Totally Trevor was one of the best skiers in the world.
Yeah,
he would have done. He was already popular beside the best skiers in the world that put edits on New Schoolers. More popular. Why? Because we already saw 50 edits that day that got released. So if one was Bobby Brown, one was B&E, one was everyone else that was ill as fuck, Totally Trevor was the only thing that was different. So if you had an opportunity to be different, man, like that's the tangent early on in this conversation, like make yourself a character because no one wants to be you because no one can be you. But everyone would love to be your character. You know, no one wants to be Clark Kent, but everyone wants to be Superman.
Facts.
Yeah, that is facts right there.
All right, let's I mean, shout out Trevor. I would love to talk to him at some point.
Dude, you honestly, you really should reach out to him. I don't know if like the two of you are just a two plank or what, but like
it wouldn't be on this show, but I might two plank.
It would be sick. It'd be sick to hear his kind of thing.
He played his role in the sport. He did.
Yeah, he probably hasn't been skiing in like 5 years, I bet. Who knows?
Okay, so college, you're having fun. You realize
definitely.
People are having fun. You see maybe more now because you're going to Keystone. Like, so now all of a sudden you're not going to mirrors. You're seeing talent beside you.
And I'm skiing way more.
Yeah,
I'm
so you know where
like
you're at.
4 days a week. Yeah.
You have a realistic bar of what the fuck's going on in your early 20s. Of where you are as a skier.
I knew that I wasn't. I think that's when I realized, like, I knew I was good and like I was better than everyone like I'm going to school with, because like CU is not really like a ski school. Like I knew I stood out and like people knew that I was good, and like I knew I was good, but I wasn't like where the pros were at. And I think that's when I started. I think it's more like a natural thing, but that's kind of when like the bunch was like starting out, and I kind of resonated with that, and like I never was like a big tricker, so I just kind of like
You
went
swerve.
I went I not even necessarily a little bit, but like more just like style became like top of the list for me than like
Did
learning
you
something
rock
new.
Adidas track pants?
Oh yeah, I did.
Fuck yeah.
I did. I was a full like I was hitting licks. I was hitting licks for sure on like the bunch. Like I wanted to be that. Like that's what I wanted to be at that point in my life for sure. Like
Yeah, there was so
definitely.
well. When you ever see that many people copy a style, when they all
Yeah.
came out and did their thing, especially Magnus and L. Who's the other guy?
Hackle.
Lucas though.
No.
Nah. This is way before Hackle.
Yeah, the guy who had the cover of Powder magazine. He was like the illest of the whole crew, even before Magnus.
LSM.
LSM. So I just because they came out and like one of the big things I love about Casaubon is like his hand position, right? And so they were over exaggerated hand swings, but it was in control and it was mentally conscious of what they were doing.
Yeah.
But when you watch people try to do leaders, it's so fun. It's like still this day when I watch people swing their hands like Phil on the landing. I'm like, your body wasn't rotating to swing them like that on the landing. But dope.
Yeah.
So I know what you're saying. I was
doing all that. I was doing all that, but I feel like I did it well enough to like pull it off. I don't know. And then
I think your whole crew did when I watched your shit because you did levitate. Like even when I watched Strictly Gutter the other night, I was like, man, I don't know. I can watch Seamus and like I see certain different things how he lands on a rail.
For sure. Yeah.
Pete, you ever watch any like old Dave Crichton street sags? Because when we were talking to Crichton, I forget the video it was now. It was one of the level 1 videos, but he does like a high nugget to like jumps on a concrete ledge. It was sick, and it's like something that you would do. So I was wondering if that was an influence for you at all.
What the fuck is a nugget?
I mean,
so 1 foot,
like a 50-50.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen them. I've definitely seen them. I wouldn't say I like go back and watch them though.
It wasn't a huge influence for you, is what you're saying.
I think that was definitely a few years before I was like nerding out on skiing.
Yeah.
So in college, what's your thought process in the sport of skiing? Are you only doing the Totally Trevor Pork Frat crew in college?
Yes. And then I think, pretty much. And then it wasn't until my last year, probably, I think I was a senior, where I started getting gibberish clothes. And I feel like, I wouldn't say I started acting different, but I started like, I don't know, like trying to be cooler maybe.
Was gibberish your first free hookup?
No, I was skiing for line since like pretty much all of college, since I was like a sophomore in college. So
how did you get a line sponsorship as a sophomore?
Okay, so I was skiing for Rocky Mountain Underground, which was like, they're still a thing for sure. Back in the day though, it was more like a Colorado brand. And I was getting I was like buying skis for like $200. Like they were just giving me a hookup. And then finally they were like, all right, Pete, we're going to like give you your first free pair of skis. And I was like, all right, that's pretty dope. But I also hit up John Hartman. You know who Hartman is?
Yep.
Yeah. And
you ever ski with John Hartman? I haven't heard this name in so long.
Yeah, I have. He's a G, dude. He's the reason why I got online. So I hit him up because I had met him at like Woodward Copper summer camp or something, like skiing around. And him and I just like kind of like, I don't know, got to know each other. Not like too well, but I hit him up because like obviously line was like the coolest shit ever to me at the time. And within like a couple days, I heard back from the local line rep. He was like, yeah, we can like start you out with a pair of skis, boots, because Full Tilt and Line were like together, boots, poles, like all this swag and stuff. Like they were already hyped. Even I just sent an email, And I was
Why?
like, all right.
Why?
I was
What
like,
did you do to get a sponsorship? Like, did you have the dope shit and a totally Trevor?
I think it was just like being in those videos because honestly they were doing well and getting engagement for the time on New Schoolers, and I think I might have had like a video or two, not like sponsor me tapes, but just like RMU, like shorter little videos that like I could show people, and maybe I had Instagram at that point. I mean, no one was really looking around at Instagram then, but I don't know. I had enough shit out to know that I was like a good skier in the Colorado scene, and like
Were you the
enough people
dopest
were.
skier in the Totally Trevor crew?
Nah, I wouldn't say so.
Oh, who was?
I mean, Tanner Motow at the time was pretty fucking good at skiing. Evan Forbear, pretty good at skiing. I don't know. I definitely wasn't like the technically the best by any means. I've never been that with anywhere.
This is gonna be a
That's
thread that follows through the entire story, with every
Yeah.
I find it so interesting why people get free skis, right? And
I mean, yeah,
it's a big deal no matter what age you are. Once you don't have
I think I was just young. Yeah, it was a huge deal. I think I was just like good. I was good for like the time and my age, like for sure. Like in high school and stuff, I was definitely good, but I wasn't like gonna go to the X Games or anything. Like I wasn't technically that good, but I think I had a little bit more drip than like everyone else. Like
what
just
did you like the most?
What did I like to watch?
Rails, jumps, urban.
Rails. I wasn't really. I was like hitting urban like if it snowed in Boulder, but I wasn't. I was still just kind of like doing it for fun, almost like maybe filming. Sometimes just like hitting the local rail like for fun.
So you pretty much got sponsored off doing park rails.
Yeah, I mean, I had like a good rodeo 9 on like big jumps, but I wasn't like doing dubs yet or anything. I think just rails and like honestly, maybe just having like a little bit more drip, like having a little bit more swag than like the other people my age who were like doing dub corks or whatever, but they didn't look that good. And going back to what you said, well, hold on. And going back to what you said, personality, because the Pork Frat videos were personality. So I had something a little bit more there than just like skiing talent, and that's like Ethan was saying, that goes throughout this entire thing. It's like I've never been technically that good at skiing. I've just had like a different edge to it and like a different way of doing it, I guess, that people seem to have liked.
I think
I'm not good at anything. I just know I work harder.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
I don't even
and maybe,
but I'm just like,
maybe I just like. Yeah, I mean, I work hard too, and I just really fucking liked skiing, so I made it work. But it's like, I don't know if I got lucky or I was just with the right people a lot of the time or what.
Just based on the conversation that Pete and I had last time we talked, I think there's like the three things that Pete does well is he's a different skier, he's a stylish skier, and he's a great business mind. Like he's easy to communicate with, knows the business side of things. So that's honestly why I wanted him on, because I mean, like we said, Pete's not the best skier in any crew he's going to be in, but I mean, and we'll discover what makes him so unique apart from that. But like, it's a different formula from a lot of other people, and that's what makes it so interesting. And I think the line thing, getting sponsored as a sophomore, not even being the best in your crew, like Iberg said, sponsored off of park rails is like the first instance of that.
And something like that, I say it because it's important, right? Imagine a kid who's all bummed in Minnesota who's only riding rails at Highland Hills. Who's like, I got to do the double off the big jump like that kid. You know, like they don't understand that you can do your own thing. Like, no, dude, just go straight off and look dope and have everyone talk about you.
Yeah. And maybe it's because I was in the mecca of it all and it was not because I was in high. It's like maybe it's because I wasn't doing what everyone else was doing, like at Keystone and Breck, which is like chucking meat and like, you know, wearing like who knows what. But I was like different enough it was surrounded by all that. I was different enough to like make it work, and I got online, and then yeah, I mean that definitely was such a
The
sick
sophomore year you get
moment.
online, they fucking fully hook you up. Skis, boots, bindings.
Yeah,
and all
I
that
was
shit.
like, I
Then
dusted RMU. I was like, all right, well, like, sorry, but I gotta like do this. Like,
senior year. What year is it? Your senior year?
what do you mean? 2014. No. When I 2018. 2018.
2018.
I
Okay.
graduated high school in 2014. My senior year of college was 2018. That's when I first started getting gibberish clothes. Like, I don't even really know how that happened. Kind of just like, it's like in Colorado, they're like looking at people, and I was just doing my thing. And I think I met Amos. I don't know how tapped in with gibberish or whatever, but basically one of the designers. But at the time, he was kind of TMing, and I think I met him at a premiere, and then he knew who I was, and I was like, oh my god, like he knew who I was, like that's sick. And then I don't know, it just kind of like started getting close, and that's also the year we filmed Strictly Business.
So can I ask you a question? Because I've known so gibberish has been around, I think now 20 years. And when they started, it was only velours. It was fucking dope. One piece fucking velour sweatsuits. And whatever. So I've seen a big up. Pete is, I believe, the founder's name. Pete something.
Pete and Dave. Yeah, Pete Drago and Dave Boger.
What is it? Because they've killed it, man. Like they're great tangent and skiing that like we're stoked on skiing, but want to do more. Yeah. And so, what is it as a Colorado person like? If gibberish finds you, or as a twin tipper?
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
Are you kidding?
I want to know.
No, I'm saying like
Colorado person.
No, I'm saying like, are you kidding me? That was like the cool. Getting on gibberish was like watching. Like I grew up on gibberish. Like that's what I would ask for presents from my parents. Like that's what I would like save money for. They had a storefront. It's like, oh, we're going to Denver. Like, can we please go to the gibberish store? Like, even if I'm not buying, like knowing that my dad's not gonna buy me anything, I just wanted to go in there because like, oh, like it's the.
So what was it?
Blah, blah,
since
blah.
You're a super gibberish fan, what did you love? Was it their edits?
Everything. Like at what like. Dude, gibberish has had like every one of the sickest skiers of all time at some point has like gone through the gibberish system. Like I like, it was like the illest thing ever. Like at one point, like gibberish was like the coolest shit ever. At least when I was like 14 or 15 watching that shit. And like Tom, dude.
Yeah, 2009, Henrik and Tom just rocking that shit.
Yeah, dude. Unbelievable. So that was huge. Like that was fucking crazy for me. And I definitely
Got you all cocky.
Yeah, it definitely was a nice ego boost for sure. Like I got line and gibberish. Like if you told young Grand Pete like you're gonna be skiing for line and gibberish, I would be shitting my pants. Are you kidding me? Like that's just getting free stuff. Like I never even knew how any of this worked. And then, I hear like, oh, this person's like getting money for this. And then I'm like, oh, what? Like,
so you have an awesome fucking volcano going on. You graduate college. You fucking out.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
So college, my last year of college, we filmed Strictly Business, which was not a Strictly movie. It's the same year as Banged Up. Do you know what Banged Up is? No? Okay. So Banged Up was like a gibberish film that Sam, Xander, and Calvin Barrett.
2017.
2018, probably. 2018. This is like pre-Strictly, but like I was in two films, a gibberish street video, and then like Strictly's first movie before it was Strictly, like the crew of Strictly before it knew it had a name, and the name of the film was Strictly Business.
So do you have a new crew already outside of the Trevor crew?
Yeah. Okay. So I think Totally Trevor actually kind of died out, and Pork Frat died out before I finished school because they were all way older. So it's like they all like graduated and whatever. So that might have only been for like 2 years or so, 2 or 3 years of my college experience. And then the last year I started skiing with like people that were skiing to make shit and like be cool, quote unquote. Not and I say be cool as in just like normal skiing with as opposed to just like Totally Trevor like backyard bullshit, just like fucking around with snowblades on and like drinking beers all day long.
You want to get the shot? Okay, let's go tomorrow.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, I mean not that serious, but that is when I started like taking skiing seriously and like being like, okay, I think I want to do this. I think I can do this. And like when I graduate college, like this is what I want to do for some amount of like I want to like have a winters where I'm skiing, and that's like what I'm putting my focus into, which is what I always did.
Really?
But I had school and whatever, and you know I had school and skiing, and like I was like, all right, when I'm done with school, like I'm gonna ski. Like that's all I want to do for a little bit.
So do you have any role model at this time other than just the sport? Because do you know what I mean? Like if you want to ski now, do you want to go in this path? You see so and so doing that, so and so doing this, or do you just all you know is you like skiing and there's an opportunity?
I mean, that's the exact same thing too, Iberg. Yeah, like you probably had no role model because you couldn't be like a true film skier. Like you couldn't shoot with level 1, probably, and you couldn't compete. So same question. Like,
I mean, so I definitely was just like seeing what Sam and Calvin were doing and wanted to be a part of that. And then that's kind of like I kind of had to like. They had already been like skiing street together for like a couple years, and they were like the cool like Colorado kids, like the not comp and the not like level 1, but like on the
They're
level.
Both Colorado kids?
No, Calvin is. Sam moved to Colorado when he was like 18 or something. So at that point, he'd lived in Colorado for a few years. So, like, we had always known each other, but it wasn't really till I started getting gibberish that we started to, like, they kind of, like, let me, it's almost like they let me, like, hang with them as, you know, because, like, our, like, crews were different at Keystone. We were all homies, but it's, like, we would never, like, film together. Like, the Pork Frat and the Mole Squad, like, we were homies, but it wasn't, like, the same skiing crew.
Got dope names, though.
Yeah, dope names. And then I got on gibberish, and then it was kind of like, all right, well, like, they're making gibberish stuff, and I'm on gibberish now, so, like, can I, like, get in here? And then it's kind of just, like, slowly started being a thing, and then next thing you know, we're, like, I'm, like, on my first street trip in Duluth, and we're filming for Welcome. Before we even knew what we were making, this is, like, we're just out there filming. We know it's going to go somewhere, but Strictly technically didn't even exist yet. Next thing you know, I'm just like part of the crew, and now.
So Strictly is produced by who?
Strictly is produced by Andrew Mildenberger as kind of like the head, who filmed most of it, and also Gavin Rudy, who was like filming as well. Andrew was kind of like the PAL filmer. Gavin was kind of like our street filmer. But, I mean, we all were, like, figuring it out and just, like, being young and, like, figuring out how to make movies all together. It was kind of just like, all right, you're a filmer and, like, we're skiers. Like, let's
so you're handing off the camera.
Gavin, Rudy, like, filmed A angles, and we would film B angles, and, like, we definitely, like, learned how to do it. So most gutter was all me, Sam, and Calvin. We produced, directed, and filmed that entire movie. We didn't have, like, a filmer. We edited it to the point to give it to Andrew, and then he did all the butter. But we music, storyboarded and everything, and like told them like if we needed any fancy schmancy shit like that, Andrew like buttered it up, sound, like audio and color and whatnot. But like end of the day, you know, skiers made most gutter. All the other Strictly films were made by like all the other Strictly videos were made by someone who was like there to film and edit. Most gutter was like a culmination of us watching that whole process and watching Gavin film and learning how to do that, and then doing it by ourselves and making a good movie. I think.
I want to throw something in here. I want to throw something in here because Pete, you haven't heard our other conversations that we've had with other people yet. But Iberg is usually asking the younger guys like, what does it mean to make a movie these days? Like the intro soundtrack. These guys, like the Strictly crew, I think more than any other crew, made movies. Like Pete could tell you more about storyboarding, making storylines, soundtracks, actual themes, taking it serious to a degree that I don't think any other street crew has that it like in memory at all. Like I can't think of anyone else that's taking it as serious as you guys took it.
I was gonna get
I think
but I just want to give them early props because it's like we just talked to so many other people and it's making me realize how special you guys really were, like especially compared to all the other conversations we've been having. It's crazy.
Sick. That's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyways, I had to give him his props because it was just it clicked for me right there, and it's not.
And I don't want to take credit for that at all. Like it totally was like a team. Like they're like none other. Like no one individual like made Strictly any more than everyone did. I don't know. That didn't make any sense, but like you know what?
No, totally did. It's so like when I made Idea, right? Eric Pollard edited. Every skier filmed at some time. Like, and so like the only reason that movie was the best ever, and maybe most gutter is for you, was because it's an unrealistic combination of too many people getting together and executing their roles.
And too many people like caring more than they should, but that's how you get shit done. That's how you make something that's actually special, is like caring too much. And I cared way too much about like getting clips and skiing. Like for that time period, I definitely was like, I'll admit it.
I'm gonna say this: eliminate those words. Carrying too much.
No, but like when I look back at it, I'm not saying it's a bad thing because that's how you fucking produce. Like that's literally how you make cool shit.
You guys just all put in maximum effort. You put in what you're able to do. Why?
Able to or not? Like literally, just like only trying to get clips and only caring about clips and like, I mean, we all are on that tip for sure.
But that's how you make a movie, man. That's why that movie stuck out. Like,
it is, but I don't
get there because I'm gonna go nuts.
But I don't see it that way anymore. But I still can make dope shit. So
that's good. That would suck if you didn't believe it.
Right. When you're young and hungry, you just like, I don't know, I guess like we weren't even like really getting paid. We had budgets for the movies to like make the movies and like sleep in shitty Airbnbs, and we got the van, which was like the coolest thing ever. But like, I don't know, we were just doing it because we cared to get clips, and so we would just joke about it the whole time, just being like, what the fuck are we even doing out here? And then meanwhile, we're like just getting up at like 10 and staying up till 5 in the morning, just fucking clip after clip. It's sick. It's crazy to think about. We were even on that kind of fucking tip.
Stay on it.
So in a different.
Well, you're 22 now. You gibberish line. You're getting more in multiple film crews. Like, what do you find? Are you starting to find filming or editing interesting, or any production? Because now that you've been around Totally Trevor, Pork Frat, this next one, and Gibberish. So you're at 4 production companies over your college era.
I mean, honestly, I really just gave a shit about skiing and like how it was. I cared about the overall outlook of the movie, but like for what I wanted to do and what I wanted to contribute, it was just skiing.
You
Like,
still wanted to make a banger segment.
like exactly. That's what I cared about. I never thought like, oh, like I'm gonna like film stuff later on. Like I should probably learn how to do this or whatever it is. I just was like, we're gonna make dope movies. Gavin and Andrew are really good at filming this. Like I'm just gonna stay in my lane and ski. And then I don't know, even like it hasn't really been until more recently where I've been like way more interested in that kind of shit and like filming.
So who's the biggest organizer of your crew to be like, is it you as motivator, or there's got to be one person that's the person?
I was definitely the like, yeah, like the organized one and like maybe a little more planning.
Could you speak to the forming of Strictly? Because you mentioned that like the gibberish connection between all the riders, but could you talk about how like it all that held everything together?
So my senior year, Andrew came to me and was like, I want to make a ski film. We didn't even really know each other. We were just like Colorado people in skiing who went to the same school. And I was like, dude, I'm fucking down. And so he made Strictly Business, which I have a street part in. My first like actual street part ever. Not my first time skiing street. Huh?
But when a homie says to you in 2018, let's make a ski movie, what does that mean in your circle?
I don't even know. I was just like, yeah, I'm down. Like, I'll see some street. Huh? Get clips? Yeah. Clips? I just meant like, cool, yeah. It was just like, I'm in, like, whatever I'm in. I'll see if I can like do it, you know.
Number one is putting like a roster together of other kids that can stack clips.
Yeah, so and it was just Colorado kids like Ethan Swabberg and Benny Smith and Levi Asher. So it was just kind of like local kids, but they went on PAL trips, and then whenever it snowed in Boulder and Andrew was in Boulder, him and I would film street together. So that was how my first street segment happened. But simultaneously that winter, Gibberish was making a film called Banged Up. And by Gibberish, I mean Sam and Calvin are making a film supported very minimally by Gibberish. Just like, I don't mean that to put Gibberish. I just mean that as in like, we're young, like they're not going to put too much investment into this kind of thing. Just for the time. And then, so I also got clips in that. I didn't have like, we premiered those two videos together, sold out the Fox Theater the first time we ever even had a premiere. It was so insane. And we were like, holy shit, like we like did something, like we're doing something. And basically that next year we kind of like merged those two crews and that became Strictly, and we filmed Welcome, which was the first Welcome video. So Welcome was me, Calvin, Sam, Carson Kerr, and Gavin Rudy filming the street stuff. That was like the street crew. And then the PAL side of things was like basically the entire Strictly Business crew from the year before, just like with Andrew filming them skiing PAL. And that was Welcome, which was the first video we made, the first movie under the Strictly like title.
Are you a full-time student at this time?
Yes, for Strictly Business. For Welcome, I was just trying to ski. I was maybe making like, I think that might have been my first year, like Line and Gibberish were paying me like a couple grand total, or something like, and I was like, all right, fuck it. Like, I was like sleeping on my homie's couch at CU and living at my parents' house, so I wasn't paying rent, and I made it work.
So did you graduate?
Yeah, I graduated, of course.
Okay, no, I don't know because we were in senior year, and then all of a sudden,
so
more movies, and I'm
I know. Okay, well, it's hard for me to stay on a timeline, but 2018, Strictly Business, still in school, still in college, just like filming street in Boulder when basically either with Andrew for Strictly Business, or if the gibberish guys, as in Sam and Calvin, would come to Denver or Boulder from Summit County, I'd like go film with them and try to squeak in a couple clips.
Okay.
And then I graduated. Technically, I didn't. I had to take a couple classes online like the next fall. But let's just say I graduated 2018. Then like worked in the summer. Like I was always stacking bread in the summer just because I knew I wanted to ski. So
What'd you do for work in the summer?
I worked for a moving and storage company, which I did like pretty much all of college and was just like stacking because I knew I'd be skiing. And then not paying rent like the first year out of college, I'm just like bumming on my homie's couch basically, but in Boulder. My parents also live in Boulder, so it's like when I was overstaying my welcome, I'd go stay at home for a night and then just like fucking come back or whatever. And then we would like, that was like my first winter of like skiing was my job. Like I wasn't getting paid enough to call it my job, but skiing was like what I was doing. And my first time like going to Minnesota on a street trip was that year for welcome, which was sick. Like that was definitely just, I felt like I was just getting like thrown into the ring, like, but I was just also so hungry to just like, damn, like this shit is sick. Like,
so is that 22, are you 22 or 23 when you go to Minnesota?
22.
So I'm just curious, as this age, do you feel like a little kid, like with all these opportunities? Or do you feel like I'm late to the game and I gotta fucking murder?
Nah,
I don't know, because it's an interesting age to.
I felt like a little kid for sure still. Like, I feel like nowadays that's not young anymore.
But like, we said that, but we always said that was old, like when we were young. That's why I asked, because we'd be like, I mean, when JP was 23, he was like, I'm old as shit, man. It's for
really.
Little kids. But I
think the timeline for I'm going inside. I'm coming inside. Hopefully it'll be better.
New location.
Are we fully back?
Yeah,
new location. All right, hold on. Let me just plug in real quick.
Denver utilities, man.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I mean, we probably will have the same issues inside too. I don't see why the sunroom's going to be any different.
We'll see.
All right. I know where I was. So the timeline for street skiing is different because you have to be good at it. You have to be mature. You kind of have to be an adult to be. Sure, you can be a good skier and like hit street rails, but you got to be smart. Like it takes like time, and like you got to like be in the game for long enough to like know what the fuck you're doing on a street trip and like be with the right fucking people. You can't just.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, like that's kind of like why we were good, because we were just smart about like what we were doing, as well as being good at skiing. But like street skiing takes so much more than just being a good skier. Like it literally.
And now it's about being creative, right?
Yeah, I mean,
like your spot selection is and your
which takes time too, which takes time to like figure out, and that's why like to be a good street skier, like the prime is like kind of almost like 24 or 25 when you've been doing it. Like maybe you graduate college, or like it's like that's kind of the time where you have time of freedom to go and like do this kind of stuff. And yeah, I don't know. I think like a prime for like a slope skier is definitely younger than like the prime for like a street skier, because you've been skiing park your whole life. You don't like, you ski park and then you ski street, and it takes time to figure it out and like get good at like everything else outside of the skiing, like spot selection.
Street is something crazy because I think you can look at the concrete and say it can end your career faster, or you can look at the art medium of urban, and it actually is the thing you could do the longest.
Yeah,
you know, I only say that because I use the fucking weirdo person Phil as an example, B-Dog, right? because it's like I see his visualization on location, and I'm like, wow, man, is like he still don't wear a helmet. That means he's this calculated on the gnarly shit he does, like when he goes into it, mental preparation, spot selection, preparation of the spot, and all this. And I'm like, wow, your medium platform for your art of urban, like it can really be forever because it's such a awesome artistic, like you really can do straight airs and make it look cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
like
what I've been doing my entire career. That's what I've been doing my entire fucking career. And that's like all I've like paid attention to is like how can you make simple shit look like not simple shit, basically. Or like
perfect,
how can we
man.
film?
Make it look beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, look at Will Weston, dude. He's a year or two older than Phil, I think, and he's never been injured. Knock on fucking wood.
That's crazy. Are you serious?
Will, I mean, sure, he has, but like Will
he's
is
had
like
to have blown his knee.
No, he has not. Will is literally like the smartest skier out there, and that's like you have to be smart skiing street.
Does he ride with the helmet?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't. He could probably ride without one and also.
I know. I'm just trying to think. I don't want like in my head, like he's so perfect. I don't even think if I'm worried about his safety.
Right, and I think he's just always worn a helmet. It's like some people, you know, when they're wearing a helmet because it's like, oh shit, like if I wear a helmet, you notice it because I never fucking do.
I guess I never noticed it with Will.
Will's always literally always worn a helmet. The only time
he does the hood up style.
Yeah,
no, but that's how sick he is because we're watching what he fucking does on his skis and not his head.
Yeah, exactly. Not what he's wearing. Will's never cared about what he's wearing and shit either. No. He's that good. Like he's that type of person. It's like for me, I'm always like what I'm wearing is important because like everything in a clip is like important to me because I know that. I mean, whatever it is, but like, I take into account everything because not just because it's important to me, but because if I'm not doing like the biggest, most crazy, mind-blowing thing, like every little detail has to be there for it to be on par with the biggest, most craziest thing. The filming has to be perfect. Like literally, what I'm wearing has to be like what I should be wearing for a certain spot. Like I've worn like bigger jackets for like certain gaps or like finesses that I've done to make the gap look smaller or something. Like I've worn like specific things for specific tricks because I know there's like a certain way that this is supposed to look for it to be a certain vision, I guess, just overall.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, big up Will on that.
Yeah, big up Will on that.
He might be the only person that's ever not gave a fuck except
straight up. Like, yeah, he has no drip, but like he has Will drip, you know? Like he just look. It's just Will, and like he's worn the same kits for like he's always worn. Like hasn't changed.
He looks like 2007 at his finest.
Yeah, and he just is that good that you're not worried about anything else besides like, holy shit, that was fucking insane.
Yeah, agreed. So you are fucking full on into. You have a crew. You're making a movie. Like when you're doing this now, and you're stacking clips. Like, is there anything that like is wild for you? Are you setting up movie tours? Are you like oh, we want? You said you sold out a premiere.
Yeah, we're just every premiere we did. Every premiere we did was like huge. So we sold out the Fox Theater, then Welcome.
How did you do it? Movie. Did you rent the Fox Theater out and then collect tickets?
Yeah, we paid. We got like a little hookup on the deposit, and then I was just in Boulder fucking slanging hard body tickets, like hard copy tickets. We were just slanging. I mean, like we had enough of a name just like within the ski scene in Colorado that I think it made it work. And honestly, I just had a lot of homies too, like outside of skiing.
Boulder's the perfect scene, man.
But the line was fucking out. It was literally like the staff at the Fox Theater was like so unprepared. They had no idea it was going to be this like.
So who in your crew threw up the money?
We had some budget, maybe, or I might have.
I'm just curious because if you sold it out, someone made money.
Oh, made the money. We just went into the next film. just went into
Awesome.
welcome.
So I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I was interested because
Yeah.
I'm just want to like, I don't know. The biggest thing I think is important is investing in yourself, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
no,
you already
that's
invested
pretty
in
much.
yourself individually, not making any money. You invested in your movie, not having a real budget, and then you invested in yourself promoting something where the stars of the film didn't have enough money, the movie didn't have enough money, but you knew your shit was so dope that enough people would make you more money than you made off a ski sponsor.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Literally.
So
And
high
then-
five on that. I'm just saying when people complain about why they can't do something, like you have two huge examples of why you could have said, "Oh, I don't have enough."
Right. No, we were just like, we knew what we wanted to do and we were going to make it happen, even if we were like putting up our own money, like hoping for the day that we'd fucking get the reimbursement, which we did. We always, but like, yeah, there were times where I was like, you know, in the van, for the van, we bought that in like October or something. It's like we didn't see any sponsor money in January. We were putting our own money up for that. Like I put up a solid chunk of money because I worked all summer. Like as like
when you're
as
making
like a
in 2018, how much sponsor dollars do you think you get for a movie?
2018, we weren't really getting sponsored dollars. We could talk. I don't know. I mean,
when you got your van,
talk over time, Pete.
Yeah.
The van came in a couple of years in, Iberg.
The van came in for Bermuda, which was the next film. And that was after we made Welcome, which was like our first video that like hit. Like it really hit.
Welcome have any sponsor dollars?
Yeah, I think so. Honestly, I could like look right now at like the end of the video and look at the sponsors and probably give you a rough.
And then here's my next question. When you guys start a film company that makes a movie, do you guys have to start a business or do sponsor dollars go to one of you as an individual?
We had Andrew Mildenberger LLC was the LLC. Yeah. He was just like sending us money and whatever out of the budget. But honestly, we kind of would just go the whole year spending our own money and keeping track of it. And like the sponsor money is obviously going to be late. And then we would just like divvy it up however it needed to be divvied up. And then whatever's left over goes to next year. Whatever we make from the premiere goes next year. And like no one was making money. I don't know if we had leftover budget or whatever from the premiere. No one ever made any money from Strictly itself, except for like maybe the last couple films. We made a little bit for Most Gutter and like Delete. We made a little bit just at the end after everything, but like no one, even Andrew, like editing for fucking months straight on these movies, like day in, day out, was just like in college, like down for the cause and just wanted to do it because he wanted to do it. No one ever actually made money. It was always just like, as long as we can keep doing this, like it's dope. And that being said, like I was making some money from my individual sponsors. Like we would set it up where it's like, all right, I'm getting paid by Line as like my personal contract, but Line would also contribute to the film because like if they want to be a part of something, they want to sponsor a video too, not just the athlete, and I so happen to be in it. So like I was lucky, you know, the athletes in the videos that were lucky enough to have their own contracts, and meanwhile everything is getting paid for, and by that I mean like shitty fucking hotels and Airbnbs and gas money. Then that was all good. We were just there to get fucking clipped.
I got a question. Okay, so when you're talking to Line, because I think this is going to be a valuable insight for the younger guys. When you're talking to Line, are you talking to your team manager, or are you talking to Jake basically, or do you have to go up the chain where you're talking to his bosses and like pitching this at a higher level? Okay, so I feel like that's important because
right now I
probably think that you could just talk to your TM forever, but at a certain point you got to talk to like suits basically, and you. So
my timing was cool because, I don't know, however it was, but when I started like making money from skiing or from Line, Connor was the TM for like a year. And then he quickly got promoted because a bunch of internal shit happened at Line. And then Connor just like continued to be my connect. Like nowadays, it doesn't, like I'm so in there that I just talk, like when I need something, I can talk and we can figure it out, you know, like adults. It's not just like this scared little kid, like, can I have like $600? Like, I don't know, you know, like, I feel like that's what like kids are doing, and that's what they do. And then you learn, like, you do enough of it and you figure it out. But nowadays, like, whatever, if I need something, we talk like adults and figure it out. Back then, it was definitely like every time I sent an email, I was like, you know, nervous, or just like, how is this, like, damn, like, are they gonna pay me? Like, that's crazy. Like, I didn't even know I could like get to that point, and then I got to that point and figured out like pretty efficient. Like, I don't know, I definitely think like what you were saying, like, I definitely figured out the business side of things for skiing, like, maybe not necessarily earlier on, but like, you know, I'm educated and I am a good communicator, and that's definitely a big reason why I'm still like getting paid to, like, not still, but why I am getting paid to ski and like became a professional skier. Like, obviously I was good enough, but there's so many other factors to it that it's like, you know, you can be Ed Joy and he's like so fucking good at skiing, he doesn't need to worry about too much when it comes to like, you know, making decisions financially. But
Because he lived in his parents' house.
well, yeah. I maybe Eddie's not the best example, but someone who's just like so fucking good, they're getting sponsored and they're getting paid.
I want to say though, you're the smartest person, because you have to, even if the biggest people that get the biggest paychecks, their paychecks come late too. So you know, like, you work in the summer. I don't know. I just think it's important people know that, like, if you're in the ski world, the paycheck will be late. Understand that the work you do, you need to take care of yourself. And if you're always asking why that person's not going to give me money or why didn't they pay me on time, you're going to create all the excuses in the world.
Right. Yeah. It was never that for me. It was, yeah. And I think what I'm trying to say is, like, as a street skier, like, I figured it out. Like, no, you know, you don't really get paid in street skiing, and I'm not saying I'm making a ton of money either. I couldn't just live on skiing, or at least like the lifestyle I want for myself. Maybe I could, but it's not how I'd be living now. But for like just street skiing, and like that's all I ever did, I definitely like did a pretty good job with like the sponsors I've got going and like making that work. And I think
when you started all this and you like got a Strictly crew, now you kind of have like a focus. Welcome. You have another, like, do you have like, because the thing I didn't want to do when I started making movies is I didn't want to make a movie every year. I was really like, how do you think about making a movie every year? How much time goes into making one? How much time goes into editing one and then promoting one? Didn't make sense how I could ever start. So I'm curious, now that you're stoked on making movies and you started this crew, what's you guys' goal? Like, we're going to make yearly? We're just like level one?
Yeah.
Like,
I think that was just the formula that we grew up on. So that was what we knew, and that's what we like thought was the right thing to do. And we never wanted to be like the new step or the new level one, but we definitely took a lot of pieces of those puzzles and made them our own. And I'm not saying we became the new step or the new level, whatever. I'm not saying that.
You did. I'm saying it.
Okay. I mean, people do say that. I'm not saying it because I'm not. I don't know. I don't need to say that. But I just mean like that was what we grew up doing or watching, and like that's what we wanted to be. So that's what we did. Nowadays, I definitely look at it differently.
So what did you emulate back then other than just making a yearly movie and a world premiere? Because they do a lot of stuff, you know? I mean, with their soundtracks going into their artwork, to their...
I mean, we were definitely like trying to have personality and trying to have like a high level of editing where it's not just cool skiing. Like there's other shit in the videos, and like you watch every Strictly movie, there's a good amount of B-roll, but it takes a lot of it takes a lot to have entertaining B-roll, especially in skiing, I feel like. But we wanted to make ski movies that anyone could watch, like every person would enjoy. So like there's people that like the movies, there's people that like strictly movies because of the B-roll in them. And like that's pretty cool.
Because the B-roll is the only thing that give you the character.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
And we've talked about that too, and people have told us too. It's like a big part of why we're successful is because we were also characters too. We weren't just good skiers. Some of us weren't even that good, but we had the characters and we had the style and we had the drip and we had what people wanted to be, whether it was like good skiing or not. It's like we just had and we had like Sam, who's like the heavy hitter street skier, and like Swadberg on the POW side, but then we had like some more underground people, and then we had like middle ground people or whatever, and like people doing different shit, and we kind of just like had kind of like every piece that we needed to, and it wasn't necessarily like planned out to be that way. It was kind of just natural, and then
I think how you won too, if we look at the year, like name another crew that's legit, that go out and fucking charge, that fucking get in the trenches together and fucking kill themselves together. Like,
yeah,
I don't think there was, and like that's what misses is the crew idea. That's what I get excited about when I see it in skiing in the small little niches all over right now. I'm like, fuck, man, your crews are so ill. Why don't you guys go tell everyone you guys are the illest? Right? Because all it takes is to make homies crew be like, yo, have a face mask on and be like, make homies be the illest.
Yeah.
Want to be with their crew. They already own Utah. What, and there's
I think everyone's trying to just be cool nowadays, and like things change. Maybe not so individual, but like I think things are more modest now, and like where the video kind of like talks for itself, like, and like the music or something. It's kind of hard for me to explain, but I feel like.
No, I know every kid I talk to says they don't want to. Ed Joy, I don't want to be famous.
Yeah.
So when you have that line to someone who's the best, you never heard that from a 21-year-old Tanner Hall.
We all wanted to be famous. We all we all were like down with the clout. We all were like, we wanted to be cool. We all wanted the opener or the ender or whatever. Like, we definitely, during that time, we were all like, we want a fuck ton of people at the premiere. Like, we want girls, like whatever it is. Like, we definitely were like playing into that. I mean,
that's entertaining, right? Because that's a lifestyle in what your consumer wishes they could have, whether it's real or not.
Now I don't give a shit about that, and it's like cool to see people like Eddie, who were like my age back then. Like, I was trying pretty hard to be cool, and like Eddie doesn't give a shit, and he just is the coolest. Like,
but it works.
And whether he knows it or not.
Put it in perspective. Imagine if Ed Joy had the same swagger of boisterous out loudness. Maybe he's the guy that's a super duper star.
I don't know. I don't think it would hit the same. I don't know. I don't know if it would hit the same, but I think it's a different time now where it's like.
You don't think if a 19-year-old right now came out and fucking walked like fucking Tanner Hall, like was this like, I'm the fucking shit, dude, and I'm gonna win tomorrow and do shit that you can't do? That's not cool anymore.
Peas did. Look at pushing Peas.
I don't think so.
He has almost no talent, but he has all the boisterousness and all the.
Yeah, because people are laughing at him.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm saying you have to be the best. You have to back it up.
I think if Eddie acted like that, people would laugh at him. It's a different world. It's a different world, and it's like, regardless of skiing too, it's a different world.
I don't know. You made Most Gutter 2 years ago?
No. 4?
2020?
I think we filmed it in 2020. It came out in 2021, yeah. Or like around that time.
You're telling me in 3 years fucking Schwager's died?
No, it hasn't died, but it's it's evolved or changed. I just think
What's swagger then
people
today?
care less. I don't know. People care about like. Okay, I mean, in my opinion, skiing has always just been a little bit behind snowboarding. And like, if you think that snowboarding is really cool, all the really cool snowboarders like don't really give a shit about any of that, and they're just like good at snowboarding and they make cool videos. They don't really have that much personality, but they're
Not
good
anymore.
snowboarders. Exactly. So I think that like skiing is falling into that as well. But that's just kind of like a natural evolution. It's not necessarily. I shouldn't have said the snowboarding thing, honestly. I think
No,
it's
man, you
just a
want to know the
natural.
dopest thing I'll tell you right now? Why was snowboarding cooler before? Was because all their parents fucking skied. Now you have parents that snowboard. Kids don't want to be their mom and fucking dad.
Yeah,
That's why it's so dope right now. I'm saying the illest generation right now is 17 and younger because they're going to be the next revolution of our sport. They're going to come with swagger. They're going to say, fuck my mom and dad with their snowboard. And
We'll see.
I'm going to go to Alta and huck a cliff. Mom and dad can't.
I don't know. I don't really know where.
I
don't know
I
where
do see what you're
skiing's
saying
going.
though, that there is a trend right now of like people. People are like almost afraid. I don't know if they're afraid to give a shit or they truly don't give a shit. But the vibe is they don't give a shit, and it's almost like they don't even give a shit about being successful, which is the weirdest.
Right.
That's the weirdest downstream
That's the
impact
part.
of it. But it's like.
I think people just caught on
now. The vibe right now is I don't give a shit, and that makes me cool. And that's just that's just the vibe.
I think like to just put it in, to just package it up. That's pretty much it. And like, I don't know. I don't hate it or love it. I think whatever.
But it's not going to
Does
get
anyone want to be someone who doesn't want to be cool?
It's hard to say. Like I don't know. I don't even know who the kids.
If I'm a fan or a consumer, do I want to go to a refresh premiere and watch a bunch of kids that don't want to be cool? Like, what? I don't get it.
Well, they're still doing cool skiing, but I see what you're saying.
The individual is what makes them cool. Everyone is a good skier.
No, you're right.
Joy is one of a billion. I love him. I think he's the best skier in the world. He's my favorite. But everyone's good.
Right.
You ain't shit unless we know why we want to love you.
Exactly. I mean, the skiing can't just talk for itself.
No, dude, everyone's ill.
Yeah.
So, that's my only stress on it because I believe when I watch skiing, I can never talk shit on anyone skiing, but I can talk shit all day on the way they do an interview, the way the clothes they wear, and it's not even a controlled style by them. So I'm like, yo, you're getting negative vibes from a consumer who loves a sport, and you didn't even give me a reason why to love you or hate you for real. I don't know. I just don't feel like anyone makes me want to love or hate them anymore. And because I don't want to love or hate anyone, it's hard.
Well, that's it, Iberg. They're not giving you the opportunity to hate them. That's what it is.
Right.
No, I'm telling you, I hate them all. They're not giving me a reason to love them. I have to listen to their interviews. I'm bored by them. I have to see the way barely any of them can dress themselves because they aren't dressing themselves for a long period.
They don't want to put themselves out there, period, I think. And this is what
I'm saying. I'm still have an opinion on them. I have an opinion that they don't want an opinion about themselves.
Yes. If you don't dictate the narrative, the narrative's going to be...
Dictate it.
Yeah, exactly.
This is so crazy. It's like driving a train and being like, I guess the tracks will take me there. What the fuck? The tracks just bring you to a destination that's already pre-planned. Go create that future yourself, motherfuckers.
And I think one of the best points you've ever had on this show is that, what speaks to that is all the blended segments. No one wants to have their own segment because no one wants to be under scrutiny of that segment was good or bad. Because if it's a blended segment and it's all the crew riding together, it's like, well, no one.
Either the crew is good or bad.
Yeah, because no one can.
You were talking to me about opening and closing segments.
Well,
I said
strictly.
I said years ago. Now I don't give a shit. I kind of fuck with the smorgasbord video, and it's like the crew. It's like the crew that matters, and that's what Daycare was. That's what our Hazard video is gonna look like. That's coming out this fall. I don't know. I do miss working to make a segment on my own because I haven't done that since basically Most Gutter because I was hurt for Delete. but also, I don't know. I think people care more about like just the video than like everything else. Like the personal Instagram and the personal whatever it is. It's just like, let's just make the best video as a crew together, and it can be a mess and it can still be sick. But yeah,
I have a theory. I have a theory really quick, and I think that just bear with me, because so back in the day, you used to have characters that were larger than life, whatever. Okay, then social media came around, and early social media was regular ass people trying to make a character out of themselves that was inauthentic, and that was everyone. That was people in your fucking high school. That was your neighbor. That was your mom. That was your dad, sharing the best parts of their life, and then everyone, I think, collectively got sick of people being fake and fronting and making personas. So now no one wants to have a persona because that shit was so corny the past 6 years that it's like, we're done with it. We're done with people being characters. We're done with people driving a narrative about themselves. Like,
I guess the success, I don't know, the crew thing. So, you know, like, you guys have a crew, right? And so, like, when you have your crew that's self-sustainable, and when you push each other, like those individual segments can be so fun in the movie making because no one else has really a crew, you know, like that can really push each other. That's all in the same state, same country, same whatever. So like it's really fun to watch when it's individual segments, but you know the individuals pushed each other, and it hurt the guy who got opening segment, which is the second best segment, kind of is bummed he didn't get closing segment. The guy who got, you know what I mean? But at the same time, they're like, I'm closing next year. And it's like this internal motivation with a crew. You know, like, I don't know. It's like if you watch skate team videos, it's the same kind of thing mostly, unless you watch like a tour video on skating.
Well, even with the smorgasbord style, you still have, I mean, there's still an opening shot and a closing shot. It doesn't have to be under a nameplate, but somebody's getting the last shot of the movie, so there's still that competition. But
please understand, the movie that's most loved in my life idea is a smorgasbord movie and doesn't have individual segments. So I understand the concept.
And that was way before its time too. Like that was
and that's the most loved movie.
Up until a few years ago, movies are only segments, and then I feel like up until a few years ago, it was always segments anyway. And now, probably just because skateboarding and snowboarding started doing things differently, a couple years later, you're going to see skiing doing the same thing.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
Yeah, it's just fun to like realize. So, what do you got, Ethan? Actually, I want to take a pee break, grab some ice. We're at a good, hour 45 minutes? Good break time.
Yeah. All right, quick pee break, and then we'll keep talking.
All right, sounds good. Yeah. All right, how we doing?
Good. All right, back from our pee break. Iberg, I'll let you, I mean, we could take it any way you want. I think we should get to, because, I mean, Strictly kind of hit its rhythm for a few years. But I think, Pete, an important part of the story is why you guys decided to call it quits, because I think that's when we last talked, and then we could talk about everything after that, because I'm so stoked to talk about what's been going on recently. But
I want to still get into it a little more because I'm a super fan.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
So I want to stick into the movie time period because, like, I really do think you did do something special with mostly gutter, strictly gutter.
Most gutter.
Most gutter. Like, I don't know. I just watch it and I'm just like, fuck, because the energy that you put in. So I'm going to compare it to Zoot Space, right? Yeah. So Zoot Space was something that I saw before where I was like, fuck, man, your energy is just right. Kind of scene of the your age, right? The fucking late, like just graduating college. There's no mountains. Their health insurance is done at age 23 under their parents' fucking deal. So when I watch Zoot Space, I don't get the same vibe as the most gutter, where I'm watching more people that might be lifers on skis. You know what I mean? Like there might, like even you might ski your whole life. The guy who might had a dope segment in Zoot Space might show that segment in 15 years and be like, I remember when I used to ski. Where there's a vibe of like, maybe it's just because you're in the mountainous area and I had that vibe, but you created some dope shit. So I guess like so I got excited when Ethan said you should be on because You make movies. And I don't think people do long format with the concept of a premiere, right? Like you make something and then, because someone might say they make a movie now, but what? Upload it to YouTube and then fucking go to the next training place in Austria in October? It doesn't feel like movies when it's at 15 minutes and it's kind of like a highlight edit of cruise. But like you actually put something where there's the start, there's the end, there's the promotion, and everyone goes, did you fucking see that movie? So I guess like at this point when you're doing like a Most Gutter, like are you equally excited about making movies as you are being a skier? Or are you still more a skier, like I love this shit more?
Most Gutter definitely was like the start of, because we didn't have a designated filmer for the first time. That was definitely the start of like caring about, like really caring about everything. And like Sam, Calvin, and I would like talk at every spot about how we're gonna film this, who's gonna film this angle, who's gonna do this, blah blah blah. And like, I mean, there always was that, but this was the first time where it was like us doing it. And I definitely, like, I honestly, I enjoyed like the, like producing. Well, I remember like sitting down in like October with Sam and like sending out the emails and like we're getting the new van like figured out and like putting decals on it. Like, I kind of liked the like anticipation part of it all too. I was definitely into that and like the planning side of things. And I was more of like that person than I was like actually a filmer. I would film, and like nowadays I'm pretty like dialed with the fisheye, and it's like comes from like Most Gutter and Delete and like kind of just filming our own shit, which is pretty cool to have under the belt as well. But I definitely still was just like in it for clips at that point.
But it sounds like you were able to balance, like as a producer, pre-production, stop, ski, post-production, you know?
Yeah.
So it sounds cool.
I was like more of like production director, and Calvin and Sam were more filmers for Most Gutter.
Who's your editor?
We were all everything, but like if you want to like put a label on it, then like I would say it's more that direction. We edited, so Sam, Calvin, and I storyboarded the entire film, like edited it to music, had the music.
How do you storyboard? Like I've done it, I could say it, but I had to explain it to people when I said it. But how do you storyboard a ski porn kind of movie?
We sat down and fucking laid out. We made everyone's segment individually, and then we would put the interludes together and piece it together, and then we basically handed it off to Andrew, who like what we call it is like buttered it up. Like Andrew buttered it up. He made it from like our level of production.
Physically storyboard the edit, not pre-storyboard before the segments were.
No, sorry, I meant like laid it out. I
thought you were next level. I was about to bow the fuck down.
No. We never like pre-planned shit as far as like what the movie was going to look like. We knew that we were just going to film skiing and film anything that we saw that was cool or funny or lit, and like then figure it out after. That's what's cool about like action videos is like you go in with a plan when it comes to budget and where you're going and like maybe some kind of setting and whatever, but it's like you're going to just film the skiing and then everything else just happens around it, and then you put it together after. Whereas like you're making a Hollywood movie, it's like you know exactly what you want to have happen. And then
I hear you. Weather and injury can change everything every half second.
Right. Sure. And that's like why it's kind of like,
you guys storyboard like would you guys like at the beginning of the season storyboard your shots, Iberg, back in the day?
I did. So in royalty, because I hated how people were going to the backcountry and doing jumps where they didn't hold a grab, they missed grabs, but they were like, yeah, we're freestyling in the backcountry. So we kind of storyboarded trick shots and angles on what kind of features, right? Because we only shot in the park. And so like we did get to like be like, okay, we know this reverse edge set takeoff 360 should be shot from behind. And so we would just bullshit like trick list, bullshit shot potential angles because we lived in a park for 3 years. And then we dumbed the movie down because everyone else was trying to progress the sport, but they didn't perfect something before they went and showed something at the highest level. So it's a different way. You can't storyboard like that, I don't think. Maybe.
Yeah,
I think you could make it dope. Go ahead.
Sorry to confuse too. What I meant by storyboard was like we had all the footage and the three of us, Calvin, Sam, and I, laid it out, and we basically like edited the video as far as we could edit it as like to what we could, which was pretty good. And then we handed off to Andrew. He did sound, color, like times everything out better, does all the ramp slow-mo, like makes it legit, like makes it from like a good ski video into like a high-level production.
So something Phil was interested when I was talking to him this morning, that I was talking to you. He was curious because I'm like, yo, what question do I got to ask him? He goes, man, ask him how he evolved in his film style. Like your movie production style is a great way because I see now that you're in the production, but like, how would you say from when you started and you progressed, like you changed or?
I think just every year you just learn so much more, especially in the streets. Like there's so much to learn and there's still so much I'm going to learn.
Different way of you wanting to portray it, saying your final piece.
Right. So what I'm getting to is like every year you're not just getting better at it and learning more, but you're learning what is cooler and like what looks better. So it's like we went from like filming. Okay, so I guess this is a good example. It's like we went from filming stuff how level 1 would film it or step. We're like, oh, they're like, this is how it's supposed to look because this is what we've been watching for the last 10 years. So this is how it's supposed to look. To being like, wait, no, that's how they would film it. Let's film it like this. And even if there's like an ass shot or whatever it is, it's like, no, we've seen this before. Wait, or like, I don't know. I mean, there is I'm not going to say it. Maybe I'll tell you guys, but can you not put it in?
No, I'll bleep it out.
Okay, so we would call it vision. Like I'd say, like, oh, no, that's vision. We got to shoot it like this. Because that shit was sick as fuck, but it was stock filming. So we would... Okay,
that was your relation. Yeah, it was basic.
Yeah, so we basically were like... If level 1 would do it like this, we didn't want it to be basic. Not to say that level 1 is basic, but that's just how skiing was portrayed for so long and how we all grew up watching it. Let's get risky and like film this differently. And like do this like
I made movies is because I didn't like what I saw.
Right.
So people were shooting guy in the sky tight.
Yeah.
That was the first guy that was shooting pulled wide.
It's not that we didn't like it. It's just that our skiing was different. So why wouldn't the filming be different?
100%.
Yeah.
I love that.
And your vision of it is different.
Yeah, exactly. But it definitely evolved over time of like, especially nowadays, it's like I could give a fuck about hitting something big. And that's not even to say because I'm older and like worried about getting hurt. It's just like, if I can make something small be just as fucking sick than a huge fucking jump off whatever, then let's do that because that's cool and that's difficult. It doesn't have to be gnarly to be difficult, and it doesn't have to be gnarly to be cool.
You ever seen Truck Talk?
Truck Talk?
Yeah, with Hornbeck and Phil.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's what I use to all the examples every kid in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, you can hit the roller in your backyard.
For sure.
And if you look ill and unique and different, you the illest.
There you go. I mean, goes back to what we've been saying. That's just all I've ever tried to do, and that's all I've ever really done. And it's been successful to some extent.
I think
I've hit big shit, but the thing is, every big thing that I've hit, I've always tried to make sure there was some element that made it different. to being just something big. Like,
can you give an example?
My ender and most gutter was probably like the gnarliest thing I've ever hit. It's like that triangle roof, but it's like train track slats, like that green pyramid. Yep. Yeah, it's like that's different because we could film it below and you could see my skis from below. Like that was like really, it definitely doesn't even translate. Like I obviously it looks big in the video, whatever, but like that shit was like fucked, honestly.
I saw the
like I don't know other. Yeah, I mean, there's not too many big things that I've hit that come to mind, honestly. But I tried everything I do. I try to make it different. Like some aspect of it, I want it to be different. But like, it's hard, and it's hard to make big things different because you're just like falling out of the sky. But that was like definitely something that was like I knew that year. I was like, I saw a clip a couple years before. I was like, I want to film something where it's like I'm over you, if that not or like I'm sliding something and you can film the bottom of my skis like through like glass or through whatever it is through the, and then it was those like metal slats.
You ever seen this fucking thing where they shot Rodney Mullen on top of glass from underneath, and then he did all his crazy street tricks on the glass, filmed from below?
I think, yeah, that's sick. Yeah. And nowadays, like anytime I see glass that can be skied on, or like clear, or like plexiglass or something, it's like you gotta ski on it. Like I think, and that like goes back to Zoot Space or whatever, or whoever. But
they popularized glass.
Yeah, like skiing on shit that you can film from the other side is popular as fuck. Even if it's little, I think it's cool. Like even if it's not.
Well, you can make it cool. It's not about like, exactly. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
that's
because some people can't make something really cool, and that's why it's special. What time, effort you put into it, make it unique. Yeah. But for sure, it's when you start to think things can't. Oh, that jump's not big enough. You like limit yourself so much in the idea of freestyle. Where was the like next thing was skiing. Oh, question was, have you ever had any big injuries?
Like not really. I mean, I broke my leg when I was 14. I still have like hardware in it, like metal rod and screws.
But not when you were a pro skier.
But as a pro, it's like I would get like, a couple concussions, or like not even like real concussions, and like shit that would put you out on a trip for like a week or whatever. But it wasn't really until Delete, which was our last film, I sprained my ankle in a ski boot, hitting I was trying to trucker slide this rail, and I like sprained my ankle in a ski boot and like couldn't ski for like 3 months, and that shit fucked me. It was like a weird sprain where like outside of a ski boot it didn't hurt, but because I managed to somehow sprain my ankle in a ski boot every time I went ski, it was just like that pivot point or whatever it was just was like the worst. So that was like the one like major injury where it like actually hindered me from making a real segment. Like I have clips in that movie, but they're all just like kind of mids.
Not Ethan.
Well, I just think it's really interesting because I think the creative process is super interesting, like especially when somebody's first getting into something. And you guys, I think, came at movies from different angles because, Iber, correct me if I'm wrong, but like you've mentioned that Royalty was like your response to hating how ski movies were filmed. And Strictly, you guys loved what ski movies there were, so you emulated them, but then eventually you had to find your own voice. Meanwhile,
I watched every ski movie. So once again, I say hated, but every movie I say I hated, I still watched a million times.
Yeah, but you came in with your own voice.
I can do it better.
Yeah, you came in with your own voice as opposed to coming in and trying to emulate what everyone else is doing and then finding your own voice later. Like, if you come in with your own voice, it's a different process. But, yeah, that whole process of people finding their style has always been very interesting to me, and you guys had two different journeys with it. So I've been sitting back and thinking about that for a minute. I would like to ask you, Pete, about when you guys decided to hang it up, because you guys it wasn't like it didn't peter out and then like, you know, then in retrospect you guys are like, oh, I guess it's over. Like you guys announced like this will be the last movie right after Most Gutter. This will be the last movie. This is our last time doing this. So could you speak to why you guys did that? Because I think, I mean, you did it beautifully, because when you announce it and you do it intentionally, you could do whatever you want with it.
Yeah. I think that, I mean, it's not that I think, we all just, it's like we hit a certain age, like we were all similar age, you know, within a couple years, like getting into mid-20s, and kind of just like certain people are like, all right, yeah, like I'm getting this job, or like I'm doing this, and it's like, I mean, part of it's being burnt out too. We made like a lot of movies with the same people, like doing the same thing, and I think
so hard. Like,
and we weren't making money. We weren't making real money. Like you know, we got to that age. It's like I'm
gonna add this in too, because we didn't cover it. But Pete's had his own painting business throughout this whole thing. So he wasn't living fully off of skiing throughout the whole process.
And that's what I was trying to show earlier. Like the fact you were working. Okay. I think it's super important that people.
I've never. Sure, maybe now it's like I could live off skiing, but it's like, I don't know, I live in Denver. It's not like I probably could get by, but it would be like ski bum, and I'm not a ski bum anymore. You know, I'm a real person, and I like have goals and things I want to achieve way outside of skiing, and there's still stuff I want to achieve in skiing too. But I think that realization of like, this has been really awesome, and like we're not getting worse, but like we gotta like end on a good note. Like, first of all, like we gotta finish strictly on a high note. Like, we can't just like putter out and like make a project that's not better than the last. Like, that's what you do every year. Is every movie's got to be better than the last one. I think we were able to do that. And if it wasn't the skiing, it was like it was like another aspect to the video made it better. But I mean, it's really quite simple. We just we grew up.
But I just
what are you thinking then? So when you announce a retirement from a project or a lifestyle or company, there's an LLC where checks went to. What are you thinking? Like, because normally when you retire in normal life, you go to a retirement home.
Right. It's the opposite. You're retiring from skiing to start a real life.
Okay. So everyone says we're in it. Let's give one more strong year. Then we got some other plans. Like, kind of.
Honestly, kind of. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think we knew the entire winter. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm still skiing. I'm fortunate enough.
At that time when you were going to announce retirement, did you know what you were going to do after that year?
I knew that I was going to keep skiing. Like, and everyone else did keep skiing to some extent. Like, we all still had contracts of whatever it was. But I knew that I wasn't done. And I've had 2 winters since then. And
so you finished the last movie. When do you have to start thinking about what you're doing this winter?
Well, I'm fortunate enough to, I had sponsors that I knew I was going to like make more money the next year.
Could you tell us, like, because when you're departing strictly, you're not just going into the void. You have like already have some eggs in your basket. So like, what were those eggs that you were like, okay, I have this, I have that, and I have the other thing going on still?
So Sam and I had the painting business, which he's no longer a part of, but I'm still doing. So it's like I had like work. It's not like I was just going to be a deadbeat or whatever. But other people like wanted to like get corporate jobs or whatever it was and like start making, you know, normal people money. But I also was in a comfortable position with my sponsors and like also with skiing. Like, I wasn't ready to hang it up regardless.
You already filming with Line, like on Traveling Circus and Telephone.
Right, exactly. I think I was just in a better position set up like in the industry, and it's probably just due to like Line, like is a big part of it. Like Line has just given me so much other opportunity outside of Strictly, whereas like for a lot of others, Strictly was kind of like the only lane for like what they were doing in skiing, whereas like I had Line, it's like they brought me to Europe that year and stuff like that. It's like no one else was like really going on like team trips and stuff like that, and that's mostly just because
There's
like
no one else from the Strictly crew that is
no,
at your level.
no, it's not at my level.
No,
It's not at my level.
financially,
I think
opportunity.
no, same financially, but I think just different kind of like sponsors with different kind of like vision, like just like the brand is set up. The brands that other people are on were set up differently as far as like specifically their ski sponsor.
Yeah,
like we are kind of all
the understanding of being original.
Exactly, and being like a team and like going on trips and like Traveling Circus and like down to fund separate projects and stuff. Whereas like for a lot of others, their ski sponsor specifically was like Strictly only, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I'm just mostly thinking about like Sam and Calvin. It's like Calvin was on Icelandic. They're kind of like were down to support. Like they helped us out a lot, but like he didn't really like. There's not really much at Icelandic out for a street skier.
Icelandic is not line skis.
Yeah, and then Sam was on J, dope brand, but like they don't do a lot of stuff. They don't do a whole lot of stuff, I guess. And they support a bunch of projects, but it's like Line just has opportunities, I guess, and I was able to like utilize that, and it gave me more. It gave me basically when Strictly was over, I still had a home. I still had shit to do. I still had a home, and then Daycare was a thing and whatever. Whereas like without Strictly, it was like, what else? Why would I take the whole winter off just to like go ski at Copper? Like why would I just go ski park all the day long and like not do shit? Like it's back in the day that's sick. When
how many
19,
people do you know do that?
It's so funny when you put it that way because it does sound ridiculous, and I know guys that are like,
no, there's a huge list. I was just thinking about man. Like when I was,
I don't just do ride all day.
Dude, I've got to a point in my life now where I'm like, I like skiing street, and I like skiing after March 20th through April. Like I obviously really like skiing, and I fuck with making like Instagram videos for fun and just like posting shit up. But like I don't really need to. I'm at a point where it's like I don't really need to like ski to like fulfill anything anymore. Like I don't need to just go skiing to fulfill it. I still love skiing, but the less I do it, the more I love it, and the more I want to do it. So it's like the less I ski, the better. And as I've grown up into adult, I've realized I really still enjoy skiing street. I love the process. I love being out there with people, and I love like figuring out how to do something that no one's ever done before, because that's what street skiing is. Even if it's like a peak trick, an egg trick, or whatever you want to call it, like it's going to be on every street feature, as long as no one's skied on it before, is a totally brand new thing and a totally brand new experience. And I love that. And then I just fucking love skiing park in the spring. And I've kind of just like come to realize that it's like, and maybe that's just because I live in Colorado and like and I live in Denver and like going skiing, like the vibe in Colorado is like all my like close ski homies don't live in here anymore. Like this winter coming up is like gonna be weird for sure if I'm just hanging out in Denver, like going up to Copper every few days. It's like I don't need to be doing that anymore. Like I can like work and like have a life while I make my own schedule right now because I own my own business, where it's like, all right, let's go on a street trip and like do that, and obviously go ski with the homies. Like I've been really enjoying just skiing with my friends that aren't pro skiers and just like my roommates, and like we just go rip the mountain and like smoke weed and I don't
trees and all that shit.
Yeah, exactly. And going skiing for like 2 hours and just like fucking around and like enjoying like being with people and skiing, as opposed to just like ski and park all day long. And like honestly, Copper is sick, but it's kind of boring. Like it's like the craziest. There's so many rails and everything, but it's kind of just like I've just been here too long. But yeah, I don't know.
You're in a different phase of you're in a different phase of life now.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't imagine doing that drive for that shit.
Exactly. Yeah, I've never lived. I've literally never lived like in the mountains. I've never lived by skiing. I've always lived over an hour away from skiing and there's traffic.
That's how far away that El Dorado is from Boulder?
From Boulder, it's like 35, 40 minutes. But like that was only for a couple of years, and then they stopped having a park. So we were driving an hour 45 to Keystone and Breck without traffic every day when I was a kid. And that was on the weekends, like my dad just driving me up to the hill. Like I've literally never lived by skiing.
What's the longest trip you ever went on that it took you to get to the ski hill?
Dude, one time getting home from like Winter Park or something when I was like 10 years old, the pass was closed. I swear it was like 10 hours to get home. It was insane. Like an hour and a half drive. Yeah.
I've never been jealous of any Colorado person I've ever met in all my ski life.
The thing is, I just stopped skiing on the weekend. Like the last few years, like I don't work, or skiing is my job in the winter. Like that's what I do. So it's like I go on trips and I come home and I hang out and I just go skiing during the week. Like I won't go skiing on the weekend. That's like folklore to me now. You're going skiing on the weekend. Like have fucking fun. Yeah, have fun. Like, and like I might sound like an asshole because like who can just go skiing every day during the week and not give a fuck? But thankfully I put myself in a position
because you organize your schedule.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, thankfully I put myself in a position to be able to do that. But it's just like, yeah, we'll go to what we'll do is we'll go to Eldora on the weekend because it's not up by 70, and we'll just like rip groomers and like ski shitty snow, and it's still just like I have fun doing that with just like the 9 to 5 homies, and then I basically just want to like go to Mammoth for Super Unknown for 1 week and like ski street. Because that's like the best week of the year for me. It's so goddamn fun, dude.
Okay, let's talk about.
I have more questions.
Yeah, we're paying.
No, he just retired. He's a retired.
No, exactly. That's what I wanted. That's what I want to get into. The next project. Because we're painting you like you don't ski anymore, but you went straight into Daycare, which was like Line's thing that they've ever put together.
Yeah, movie of the year, video of the year. Yeah, Daycare was sick. That was a 2-year project. Well, and the first year was filming for Delete. I managed to get like 2 or 3 clips, and that was when I was hurt. But like, there was a storm in Denver, and they were passing through, and I was like finally able to like start hitting shit again, like late March or in March. So I got a couple clips then, and then that's what I did. That's what I put my energy into as far as street skiing. The winter after the last Strictly film was Daycare, which was fun for sure.
Do you know what Daycare is?
I definitely know that everyone loved it. I don't know if I ever watched it. So my question is, was that individual segments?
No.
No, so you guys just had different trips that y'all went on together, and it was a Line team movie?
It was basically a Line team movie. Line was the only sponsor for it. Will Wesson like basically produced and directed it, and then Patrick Wren was the filmer.
So it's intro though, right?
Huh?
You guys did nameplates for the intro, right? So like everyone knew who it was.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but it was like it wasn't trip based or anything. It was just like flow, like what clip's gonna flow with the next clip. Like it was all just.
They did a segment of just shots at churches. Like that's how it was. True. Like it was kind of random.
Yeah.
How long was that movie?
It's like 20-something minutes, maybe, or 20 minutes. I don't know. I think that's a good range nowadays. And then, so that was
interesting. Like this time periods, right? It's 2022 when that came out.
2020. It came out less than a year ago. Like last fall.
I just find it fun.
So the winter, because the winter of 2022 and 2023.
The era you're in. There's not a lot of when you make a movie. There's not a magazine to say movie of the year or segment of the year in the movie, or there's not a lot of film festivals as much anymore, or there's not a lot of outlets. And I believe that's the reason why people don't make movies. because why make a movie when you could put out a shot or make an edit or do
Or
whatever.
just fucking
So I don't know. Just when you guys put this
post
up
on Instagram. Just fucking post it on Instagram. I mean, nowadays, like, it's not what I want to only do, but it's like I probably could make all of my sponsors happy and just by just skiing on Instagram.
you think
I
so?
don't. I mean, yeah, probably.
That's not why you got sponsored.
No, it isn't. It isn't anymore. But now it's. But also, Instagram wasn't as important when I was getting sponsored.
I'm just realizing this now. So you ride for Arc'teryx now and not Gibberish, or is it like
No,
okay.
It's symbiotic.
Okay, so how does that work? I'm just finally putting this together.
So, Gibberish is streetwear and Arc'teryx is outerwear, and they both are okay with it. On the level that I'm at Arc'teryx, which is like more of a local thing, they are down with Gibberish, and Gibberish is down with Arc'teryx. Yeah, I just can't wear the
ghetto Arc'teryx athlete.
Huh?
Are you the most ghetto Arc'teryx athlete? I always imagine people climbing mountains with technical outerwear on right now.
I mean, I'm definitely not ghetto by any means, but in the Arc'teryx.
No, you're in the luxury sport of skiing.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Yeah, you're the only.
That was my rude way of saying I've never seen them in the urban sport part of the sport.
And they never really have been. And honestly, the only reason it works is because of the like local level of Arc'teryx that I'm on. It's like the Colorado region, and they're like down to support what I'm doing. Whereas like the global Arc'teryx team is not trying to get into street skiing.
Well, that's awesome that you have the opportunity.
Yeah, it's sick, and it's sick that they're down with Gibberish, and Gibberish is down with Arc'teryx, and Gibberish I've been on Arc'teryx before Gibberish started making like real snow pants and stuff, but no one was like, you have to wear the Gibberish snow pants. It was kind of like, you got your Arc'teryx stuff, like, and Arc'teryx was like, just don't wear the Gibberish outerwear, and like, it's all good. As long as I'm wearing both, and it's like, I'm always going to be wearing snow pants, so... And I got Arc'teryx gloves on or whatever it is. And if I'm filming a video just for Arc'teryx, then I'm fully head to toe Arc'teryx, and Gibberish they're not bothered by it. I've just like been able to build like really good relationships, mostly with Gibberish and Line, because Arc'teryx is relatively new. It's been 2 winters. But with Gibberish and Line, it's like they just trust what I'm doing. It's like, sure, there's shit in my contract, but like, no one's keeping tallies of how many Instagrams I'm posting. It's all just, they know what I'm doing is going to help them, and I know, and they're helping me. So it's pretty sick.
How did that?
So it all sounds fucking awesome. You've made your own lane. All these people have invited you in the house. They open the door of opportunity. You're there. You're in unique situations. You have a formula on how to ski. So you can do it for a while. You're not trying to kill yourself. You're trying to create shit. Yeah. And then you have people giving you the opportunity to create shit. Where you're at in your life now in skiing for where we're at our timeline after daycare, childcare.
Daycare.
You got to be able to, like, it's got to be more goal orientated, I'm thinking. Because there's some opportunity rather than just be like, woo, let's go do some shit. Because now you can you talk more with a line guy, talk more with Arc'teryx, talk more with the Gibberish.
Well, and there's more like dollars involved to make certain things, and what comes with that is better projects, and like you can hire this person to film it, or maybe I'm filming it, or maybe I'm like getting someone like Jed, who's not on Arc'teryx, to be in the Arc'teryx video because they're down to throw him some clothes, and like he fits the vibe, and like I don't know, it just has allowed me to, like, if I have an idea, and nowadays I know how to pitch ideas well, and it's like most of the time they're gonna be down to support it. Like we did a whole thing in New Zealand last Southern Hemisphere winter.
So you have videos pay you to go to New Zealand and produce things.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
up.
And I produced a whole like Artistry video called Layover, which is gonna come out at the end of this month, I think. But I think I'm going back to New Zealand this year again. I like paid for, and like it's gonna be dope, and like make shit for my sponsors, and it's like cool to have it be work, but also not be my whole life. And like skiing used to be my whole life, and now I really fuck with the fact that like skiing's not my whole life anymore, because it makes me like it even more when I'm doing it, because it's like I don't always get to do it anymore because I got real life shit I'm doing. So when I am doing it, what I want to be, when I am doing it, I make sure that I'm like doing it right, I guess.
Yep.
Like, and that doesn't mean like skiing right. It kind of means like all the other shit involved with skiing, producing and like getting the right people to film it, or filming right and whatever. It kind of just means that like there's more. There's
So you're
more
a whole
enjoyment.
package now. You know,
Yeah,
you
I
ski,
think
you're
so.
a producer, you're a
Swiss
motor,
Army,
opening
Swiss
company.
Army knife. Yeah.
Pete, how important do you think it is? Because I think a lot of people it eats at them if they haven't done the street crew thing. Like, do you feel more at peace now, being like, I already did those years and now I can just do whatever I want? Like, do you feel like you kind of like?
Well, no, I'm still
Did you
doing.
feel like somewhat of an obligation before, and now you're doing whatever you want, or has it always been whatever you wanted? Does that make sense? Do you feel like you had to
like? Do you?
You felt like
Only
you had to be in a street crew, and now you can take it however you want.
Well, I think the only reason I am like able to be who I am is because I did this, like because I street ski. Like I'm only
kind of paid your dues.
I'm only good as a skier. I'm only good at street skiing.
Yeah.
Like actually, you know what I mean? Like I'm not really. I'm a professional skier because of street skiing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be, because the skills, the talent's just not there. Like, there's the other things we talked about, personality or whatever. But like, I'm wherever I am in the rankings of street skiing is like why I'm a pro skier.
That's who you're measured against. You're not measured against A Hall. You're measured against other.
No, obviously not.
Yeah.
And A Hall's a fucked up street skier though, which is the tough part.
But he's
like,
also in the competitive realm. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But I want to say, like, first off, you made your whole lane because you're a full Swiss Army knife, right? Why you're your own lane, why you're a unique package in this whole sport of all the people we talk to, is because like the most person I can compare you to is maybe like an Eric Pollard, because he understood that it's like you can do extra with the company that pays you a salary, and once you understand that you can do extra with the companies that pay you salary, those are actually the real jobs that will make it exist and last longer to do the awesome, fun skiing stuff, to explore new elements of it, to capture what you want. So I think that's where I take my hat off to you, is like, it's a great model for everyone to know. Like, talk to the team manager if you get a free pair of skis, because there might be 8 other outlets for you to do other than land the dopest trick tomorrow. So, and you figured out 8 other outlets other than landing the dopest trick, but you still get to do the dopest trick and get it captured if you want to.
Pretty sick to be compared to Eric Pollard. I don't think I've ever had that one before.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like
no.
The overall idea of all these guys give more, you know, the people that last really long. And it's not always, I put Pollard in my top 3 overall of skiing, but it's personal. But at the same time, I always I say, wow, you only lasted as long as you did, because he did a million things more at line than he did for them for a year.
Right.
From graphics to actual dimensions, the same thing. And the reason why these companies kept him around, we thought he was dope, but he was only valuable to those companies because of the interaction which he had with them, not because of the skiing which he performed for the audience. So that's where I noticed, listening to you, is all your opportunities wherever the fuck you're going to go. It's fun because you're like, wow, it's a job. I have another job over here. But you're blessed because you know it's a dope ass job.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I just want to say I am so grateful for this show because we've talked to so many dope people, and fucking Pete, I love what you're doing, bro. I love that we have you on
Thanks.
here. I want to talk to you about this though because Iberg was talking about you're welcomed into the people are welcoming you into their homes, their brands with these opportunities. But could you talk about opportunity generation because these opportunities aren't just coming to you, like you have a hand in creating the opportunity in the first place. Like, so how did like the Arterix sponsorship come about, and like how are those projects coming about? How do you make these things continually happen?
Arc was definitely pretty crazy, like timing wise and everything. Basically, I had been skiing for Spider for like a couple years, and they never paid any of us as athletes, but they would help out for the movies, like, you know, pretty significantly, which was sick. But I was like, if I got to a point where it's like, if I'm gonna be skiing for someone, I gotta be getting paid. Or at least like I had been on Spider for enough years that I was like, it's time for a contract. And like it was like summer, and we had our like little meeting, and it was like, yeah, we can't pay you again this winter. And so after that, and no shade on Spider, like they supported Strictly Films and whatever it was, but I was kind of just like, all right, I'm gonna try to get a different outerwear gig, even if it's not paid. I'm just like down to do something different because like Spider's never gonna pay me, so I might as well just like hit the refresh button and try to go with someone else, or not, and wear whatever outerwear I want to wear. But try to hit the refresh button, and then maybe a year or two down the line, then I can make some money from them too. So I didn't reach out to anyone, and then like really soon after that, I was working. I was like painting a house, and my friend Alejandro runs I-70 things. Do you know what that is?
An Instagram account?
Yeah, so it's like a really big Instagram account now. It has like 300 or 400K followers.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's kind of just like a Colorado like page, basically. Like it's like memes, but it's also like I-70 updates and whatever it is. That's irrelevant. But he is someone I went to college with, and on his personal story, he posted some like Arc'teryx swag because they had given him some swag to do with something with I-70. He was like, thanks Arc'teryx Colorado or whatever it was. And it's because they were doing like promotional stuff for a store opening up in Boulder. And I hit him up. I was like, yo, what's good with this? Like, this is sick. And then within 10 minutes, I was in a group chat with the store manager at the Boulder store. Turns out he is like a kid from Pennsylvania who skied park, a huge Strictly fan, a year or two younger than me, went to see you, knew who I was, had thought about reaching out to me, but knew that I was on Spider, so he didn't. And then next thing you know, that night, him and I got a beer, and I like within a couple months, I like signed with the Boulder store as an ambassador for Colorado. And then he doesn't even work there anymore, and he's like a great homie of mine, and he's like lives down the street, and we're like dogs. And yeah, that was definitely like, I'm not gonna lie, there's like a lot of luck involved there, like timing and just like I definitely like it does matter who you know, like you got to know people.
Yeah, you're the one who reached out to the friend of someone you knew and said, hey, what's up with that?
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, luckily I know a lot of people in skiing, and I also know a lot of people outside of skiing, and that goes to like going to college and like meeting people outside of skiing. There's my cat, my bad, but yeah, I don't know. I guess you just gotta fucking make connections, and then one day shit like that will happen, you know? And it did happen, and it's like, that was kind of a turning point of like me not knowing what my skiing situation was, and then I got the Arc'teryx gig, and I was like, oh, this is like a pretty big legitifier. That's not a real word, but like it legitified me being like, all right, I can keep doing this, and like it's shown that I've been able to keep doing it now for a couple years, and like they support like pretty much everything all the ideas I have, and like they, I get some money. It's not like global team money for Arc'teryx, but like it helps, and it's more than them just like paying me my like salary or whatever. It's like they're down to like throw down for projects and that I can just like pitch, and it's sick.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. And it's obviously like the nicest, like for like obviously Arc'teryx is pretty big just in the fashion world and whatever, and like the mountaineering game, but it's such nice stuff, and like I can just rock up to the store in Boulder and just grab whatever I want.
I think it's
really,
a big
really nice
point out to kids is local is a huge thing.
Yeah,
it's not about
it's working too. It's working too. Like what I'm saying is it's working.
Line connection.
Yeah.
Like if you really focus, like if you really, because even with the biggest guys, like when I work with these guys, I focus on what they can find locally. I go, man, the ski money is going to run out, but a local thing will support you forever because your local fame doesn't disappear.
Yeah.
Your local presence doesn't disappear. Your local, etc.
That's true.
Congratulations on figuring that out early and continuing.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely want to like keep that going regardless of, I don't know. It's just cool to like work with them. Even if they don't want to sponsor me as an athlete at some point, like I'd love to just like produce projects for Arc'teryx and stuff like that, because the people there are really cool, and like it's also cool to be a different breed of athlete to like anything else that they have going on, and like kind of stick out and like break the rules a little bit, because on the global level they like don't fuck with rails, like as far as skiing and snow. They have skiers and snowboarders, but like that's not really a thing. But on the lower level that I'm like in, it's like it's pretty cool to like break those rules, and like I know that there's like people are noticing like on the higher level too, and it's like not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's awesome, and it's all because of a local shop owner.
Exactly.
If it wasn't because of him, they wouldn't recognize at higher levels, and they might never accept the sport. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and the other benefit of not going after the corporate thing is there's a million less hurdles when you're just dealing with you and a shop manager. Like if you're trying to go corporate with them, they'd be like, okay, how does this integrate into our marketing strategy? All this other stupid bullshit that doesn't matter at all.
I mean, there's some bullshit I gotta deal. Like I shouldn't say bullshit, but there is like it's definitely not like other sponsors I have. Like I have there. When I do have ideas and projects, like there's a lot of like levels stuff has to go through, and I do like the kind of like projects that I have are sort of on like a higher level than the store itself, and it's more like regional and like sort of like a little bit more involved than just like the store. But technically I'm like sponsored by the store, and like I'm a tool to promote the Boulder store specifically, even though there's a store in Denver now too, and I live in Denver.
You climb that to that regional level through the store.
Yeah, exactly. But there's like, I don't know, it's such a big brand. There's so many different levels to like the athletes that they have and whatever, but it is cool to just be a part of this at any capacity, honestly.
So when you're doing a project for them, and I think I already know the answer to this, but I want to get the younger guys thinking. So are they coming to you and saying, hey, Pete, do a project for us? Or are you approaching them saying, I can provide you guys this value through X, Y, and Z? Like, how does it go down with these?
A little bit of both, but mostly like, hey, like, is there this, I want to do this. It would cost this much money. Are you guys down? And then either they're down or they're not, kind of thing. It's like I come up with an idea, or it's like I want to produce this New Zealand video. Well, funny enough, they came to me and were kind of like, because they do this film tour every year, so we premiered that video at the Boulder Theater on the like Arc'teryx film tour, but they came to me kind of like, hey, we have this budget left over. Do you want to make a film? It's like the middle of July. I'm like, yeah, but you're gonna have to give me enough money to like bring some people and pay some people to go to New Zealand, and it worked out that they managed to do that, and that was really cool to like. I've like done the strictly production stuff, but that was like the first time I like made a like tons of other people were involved, but I was like in charge of what was going on, which was like kind of a big deal, just because it was like I'm going to a country that's gonna take an entire day to get to, and I've never been there before, and I am like there's like a lot counting on me, but end of the day, it's just like. We just need to get there and go skiing because, like, that's it. All just happens. Like, it's never really any too much to worry about. It's not like I'm a warrior, and like that's why shit gets done, honestly, because I do care, like how we were talking about before. But it's like sometimes I need to chill a little bit, and because I just need to trust the process because it's gonna work out. But it's good to like someone needs to be more on top of it than the next person, and that's usually
worrying has provided you like security in your life. Like if you didn't worry about things, you wouldn't have a fucking painting business that you had something to fall back on for a ski career.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's that little bit of being neurotic that can help you out in some ways.
Yeah.
Could you tell us about? I don't even know what you would call it. The event that you did at Ruby Hill. Whatever you want to call that.
Yeah.
Contest.
The Pete Koukov Invitational?
Yes. Yeah. Could you just tell us? Because I'm sure I don't know anything about it.
What was the name of this contest again?
Pete Koukov Invitational.
Pete Koukov.
Pete Koukov, that's my name.
Word. You got the illest name ever.
But,
no, you didn't separate your first. I hear
Pete Koukov.
I don't hear Pete. Okay.
All right. So yeah, basically, do you know what Ruby Hill is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's for the listeners. It's a free rail park, hike park in Denver that's open like 6 weeks out of the year. But what we did was, thanks to Line, Arc'teryx, and Gibberish, we mustered up some money, and I ran a contest. It was a video contest, so it was a week-long period. It was a Monday to Sunday. And you had to go film your own video, post it to Instagram. We had like a hashtag so that I could see everything, and then I judged the videos, and we had $1,000 for first place, 500 for second, and I think 250 for third, and a bunch of other shit to just give away, which was really sick to do in Denver because no one's really like kind of, it's been a minute since like Denver's like had something like that. And especially no one's done a whole lot at Ruby Hill either. And it's the best tool to utilize because anyone could be a part of this contest. Literally anyone could be a part of the contest.
Is it
all you need is a phone and a homie and a pair of skis. And anyone could be a part of it, which kind of is like what I loved about doing it because it's just inclusive, and you're not at a rail jam with like a bunch of really good kids that are going to intimidate you either. You go there on your own time. There's a week-long window. It's open till 10 p.m. too, so it's like there's gotta be like 2 hours of your week you can find time to go ski there, and then
No, it's the illest concept because imagine anyone else is filming, they recognize another person's on the same contest.
Right. Oh, and
it's like
the whole
community
week
that you created through a contest without being there.
I was pulling up. I would go, and like the whole week there were kids there filming and shit. And like we did it one night. We did like a gibberish night, based kind of like we just brought a bunch of gibberish swag, and like we told it was like the Thursday during the middle of the week. I was like, and on Thursday like we're gonna be there handing out shit. And there were so many kids there and so many kids filming. And it was like the sickest thing to see. Like, damn, I really like pulled this off. And then it was just cool to have like money to like year one of a contest. And it's like kind of a loose operation contest too. I like had money to give out, and like people like really like people were like coming from the mountains and coming down here and like actually like coming for multiple days, like putting good energy in to like get their bag and like be a part of this contest that I created, and I can't wait to do it.
You figured out the right thing. 40 seconds, 1 week.
Yeah. I mean, there's some tweaks for sure. I got to get more money so I can do a girls category as well. It's kind of whack that I didn't. I didn't have enough money to like. I just had.
Well, couldn't the girls compete against the guys?
Yeah, they did, but like it'll be sick to do next year with a little bit more bread and have like guys and girls, first, second, third, have a ton of shit to give away, and I want to maybe do like an Eldora week and maybe even a Woodward PC week too, which would be really sick. And
I'm the biggest fan, man. I want to interrupt you. I love the whole park concept. Like more than anything, I talk with Ed Joy about doing a kids park like in his local town in Quebec. Where
I mean, they have a bunch of those. I feel like out there. It's
if you utilize that, it eliminates all insurances. It doesn't make you have to be physically present on site for any difficulties.
I was in Quebec when I announced the winner. I was skiing in Montreal, skiing on a street trip. It's like it's literally it's the best format because I don't need to be anywhere. It was sick to be in Denver for that week because I could like pull up and like make sure people were filming it. Every time I went there, like kids were filming, and we even did like a middle of the week. I did like a surprise contest. So like I went one day, I filmed the 2P2, and then like one morning at like 9 in the morning, I posted the clip. I was like first person to go do a 2P2 and post it and tag me in it or whatever. Got a $500 gift card to the Artistry store, and literally within it was like just over an hour, some kid like missed his first class at DU and like pulled up and did a 2P2.
Dude, you're gonna cause a traffic accident with that. Dude, that's crazy.
It was sick. It was like that was like damn, like people.
Dude, that's the illest shit ever. I think that's not like individual trick call out.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do a contest. It's like since I've been back in Minnesota, I'm like, but I couldn't figure out. I figured it'd be too scary for insurance with people you didn't know.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, if I just rolled up to a spot, I knew what dope spots in Minnesota. I got on an inspired Instagram. I was like, yo, I got $1,000. Here's my location. Here's the fucking rail. Whoever's fucking down, and find a 0 bus location urban spot, and then try to find homies that just like maybe
that's pretty sick. It's kind of like King of the Road sort of vibes.
But no, I think that I call out that 2 pretzel too, like that whole concept alone. People may be like, do I have time to get my boots? Get to the place,
right? Literally, is somebody there already? Like, what's
Yeah. So just to make that concept happen, from introducing a concept where execution happens within the second of the post. Fucked up.
It's sick. Yeah, he probably saw it and just drove straight there and did it. It was like under an hour that it was posted on the gram. But where I want to take it is doing it at resorts, or like doing it at Eldora, let's say, because I'm pretty like well connected with them. Like, they hook it up with passes and whatnot, and just in general. But do it where it's the same format, but if you don't have a pass, there's like a day there's like during the week-long period, like I want to be able to like get it. So it's like if you're there for this contest, you can like sign a waiver and get a free pass for the day or something, and do the same thing.
Or just have them make a hike park for you.
Yeah, which they kind of have actually, funny enough. But how sick would it be to be able to like, if somebody doesn't have a pass and they get to just go, because of this contest, they get to go ski at Eldora for the day and film a video, or Woodward PC would be like the next step too. I feel like those 2 places would be the easier places to do it. But yeah, then insurance is involved, and like I don't know, it's like kind of I gotta like get some more going obviously and figure that all out. But that's like where I want to take it, because it would just be lit to, because of this contest, you could go get a free pass to a ski resort for the day.
Or it's even doper. Just fucking imagine, right? You're at your house. You're like, how many Highland Hills clips have I seen? And then you just take a picture of some like fucking feature you just saw that night. And you're like, yo, whoever does that, this feature looks dope.
Yeah.
Whoever does this, and then all of a sudden you control every resort around the world.
Yeah,
Holding a
that's just
contest,
via
you're like, hey
Instagram.
pal, wherever, dude. That's ill as fuck.
Yeah, that would be cool too. I don't know if I have the clout for that, but maybe.
You totally do, because it's small
Yeah.
enough, right? Like, even if it's a gift certificate of $50, $100,
Yeah.
you do have the clout. Because imagine the
Yeah.
Island Hill, you have enough circles that they'll
Yeah, that
spread
is
the
actually
word,
pretty
and the
sick.
whole idea is whoever's spreading the word is going to tell the people that need to know. You know what I mean? Because the people that want to know, put in the effort, can actually execute what you're asking.
Right.
The people that are
Until I'm sitting on my couch in Denver and some kid breaks his leg in Highland Hills and it's because of me. And then you got
go to MN Fails. MN Fails on Instagram.
Oh, I've seen.
You can watch 2 deaths a night at Highland Hills every night for the last 4 years.
The goalpost kid. You seen the goalpost kid?
You ain't gonna kill no one. They're already killing themselves.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Though. It's kind of it's a rocky road.
Yeah, but you have no liability.
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, kind of. It's like, go do this trick on this.
Yo, if you go on Instagram and say jump off a bridge, it's not your fault if you didn't tell Eric Iberg to jump off the bridge. Like, you're all good. So
I guess
you say go do it.
Put a little disclaimer. Little disclaimer.
Dude, ESPN was paying people to go ski on other people's property and then putting it on TV. You know,
True. That's true.
Yeah, that's worse.
Yeah, that's way worse, dude. ABC was like, or Disney ultimately was like, yo, go destroy other people's property, film it, and we're gonna put it on TV. And the whoever did it the best is gonna get paid.
Yeah, you're good. You're self-promoting resorts. They're gonna give you love.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
So sick, dude. So sick. Iberg, what you got?
I got now. It sounds like we're caught up to present day. I think I can make up. I already know who you are in 15 years myself. But for people that aren't listening, what's your dreams with your goals? What you got this year? Like, going into this year, you have these opportunities.
Do you want to know about this winter?
I guess if you have long term, I'd love to hear long term. No one can tell me long term with the new heads.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of long term, to be honest. I'm trying to still figure out what the fuck I'm doing too. I got the painting gig, but I'm getting pretty over it. I'm definitely like getting burnt out on that too. Trying to pivot a little bit. I've been doing more production work just for like friends and their businesses. I filmed a video for Connor Ralph. He has like a little webisode series where he has a new filmer who films each video. That came out yesterday, actually. So give that a watch. But I don't know. I'm pivoting. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing outside of skiing with my life, because I've realized that the painting business is not like, it's not. I like making money, but it's not something I'm passionate about. So.
You've had to have seen the light bulb over your head of what production can do in the luxury sport in which
I mean, and that's definitely like what I'm leaning towards, and it's what I've been doing for a while, but I've never really like put all my energy into something like that, and I'm like kind of getting the ball rolling on that side of things, which is really cool to like see, like make some money from that, and like be on the other side of the lens like all the time, as opposed to just like here and there, which is actually.
Are you familiar with Velours?
Yeah.
So do you know who Darren Reiner is?
I don't know if I do.
You remind me a bunch of him. He's a guy who started Velours, and then now he's like the head producer at Lululemon in Vancouver.
Right.
And he's just like sick. Super boss.
That's dope.
But what he did, right? Because they did Velours, and then what was their film? Was Velours the film company that they produced too? But they made movies, right? So he did the whole like, here's our crew, here's our movie, here's our physical product, and then they built, and now like, I don't know, check them out, research them.
I mean, and we've always talked about turning Strictly just into a production house, which is still in the cards. It's just tough with timing and other people doing other shit. But that is something that we plan on doing when the stars align. But I'm not waiting for that moment anymore. It's like kind of just like if we can make it happen, then we'll make it happen.
You can make it
Yeah, I
happen.
don't know.
You have that opportunity right now to make still personal projects happen, which is
Exactly. So I'm still skiing, which is sick, and like I'm going into this winter pretty open because I don't really know what I'm going to be doing outside of skiing this winter. So I had a pretty big talk with Line yesterday, and they're down with whatever. And I'm not gonna. There's a couple ways my winter could go. I don't want to get you guys too excited, so I'm not gonna say anything yet. But we do have a hazard. I don't know if you know what hazard is, Iberg, but hazard is kind of like a younger Salt Lake crew. They've only made like 1 or 2 films, but I was with them all winter long filming Street, and it was really fucking sick. And we're gonna have a.
How do you end up with a younger crew from Salt Lake?
Because they ski for Line and Gibberish, and so it's like over the years I've got to know them, and like they are younger, but I've been with them for a while, and like they call me uncle. I call them my nephews. It's cool to like kind of just show them the ways, and like I'm always like helping them with their contracts and shit like that, like kind of just manager-esque, but also just the homies. So we have a Street video coming out in the fall, and that's something to be excited for. I'm honestly really excited for it. I'm going to go to Salt Lake.
What's the name of that? Your episode's coming out in December or end of November.
Episode?
No, this episode, by the time it comes out, this will be probably December. So,
okay.
So you could probably speak a little bit.
Yeah, we don't know for sure, but I think we're going to call it Headache. Yeah, it'll premiere in October. Actually, it might be on the Denver stop for the Level 1 tour early September, and then we're having like a sick Salt Lake /browser/magma collab premiere at the end of October, I think. But yeah, right now it's going to be called Headache. Hasn't even been started editing. I'm going to go to Salt Lake in a couple weeks, and we're going to just get the ball rolling. And then E-Cook's going to finish it from there. But I think that, I mean, I'm not trying to toot anyone's horn, but this project is definitely going to be cool. And I think this year specifically, because there wasn't a lot of street skiing being done, like everyone kind of converted to a 2-year because this winter was so bad, at least in North America, that our video is going to stick out like in a good way. And I'm like pretty excited to like see how it does. Sponsored by just only 2 sponsors were Gibberish and Line, which is cool too. Just keep the circle tight.
Do you have any fucked up shots that you want to speak on, since people will already have seen them at this point, and you can give a little backstory?
I did a nugget that was like pretty sick. I think definitely like it's probably one of my best shots in a while. I just like nuggeted something that would like be pretty fucked up to nugget, I guess.
I can't wait to
hear sentence. Something pretty fucking up to nugget.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a scary one, but like it worked out. I don't know about me personally, like I don't know, I definitely like did shit that I'm hyped on, which I'm not surprised that I did, I guess, but I feel like last year was Daycare, and like I did stuff, but I didn't like go on too many trips, and like I didn't have too many shots in the video. But this year was like sick to be with everyone and like put a lot of effort into like everyone getting clips and like being I don't want to say mentor, but like I was just like the more experienced one, and they've been skiing street for a while too, even though they're younger. But it was just cool to like show them like how I've been doing it for the past few years, and like they taught me shit too, though. You know, it's like you're always learning, no matter who you're with. But yeah, those kids are dope. Jed, I've been doing a lot of stuff with Jed. Just like we're probably going. Jed Blue Waters. Jed Waters. His Instagram is Jed Blue Waters.
That's his middle name also.
Yeah.
Kind of sick.
So him and I have been like, he's on Lion and Gibberish, and him and I have been like, just kind of collabing on a lot of shit that we do, and like we're always talking. And probably go back to I brought him to New Zealand for that Artistry thing, and we spent the whole winter fucking skiing street together. And I think we're going back to New Zealand again in a couple months. And yeah, he's really fucking cool kid. He's definitely, if he's not already blown up, he's about to for sure. He's pretty fucking good at skiing. It's sick to see, and it's sick to like hang out with him a lot. And it makes me feel young, but also it makes me feel young to be around the youngins, but it also makes me feel old as fuck when I like sit down and like, damn, you were born after 2000. Like that's pretty fucked up.
You were born when I was like talking about how dope Mosley was when I was 7.
I know. I mean, you know, here we are. Yeah, exactly.
Crazy. All right. It's almost dinner time around these parts. So, Iberg, you want to give him the?
Sure.
You want to?
I guess is there any as a skier only? Is there anything that you like still dream about? Like, is there a dream that you have of doing a certain thing, a certain trick, a certain feature, a certain jump? Is there anything that you passionately want to do on your skis?
I think that I'm like really, what I'm going to say is that I'm super thankful that I don't have that anymore. I feel like I achieved way beyond what I ever thought I would as far as skiing goes. And like, I'm still here doing it, which is like not anything I ever would have thought. Like, I didn't even know I could like make money till I was like 22 or 23 out skiing. Like I didn't know I'd still be doing it. I always thought like, I don't want to still be like a ski bum when I'm like 26. Like that's crazy. It's like I'm 27 and I'm like skiing for really cool brands and like making really cool shit or shit that I think is cool. And that's important because it's like, I don't know, I guess there's nothing specific, but as long as I can keep making cool shit and people want to keep supporting me to make cool shit, then that's the dream that I want to have, I guess, or that's like the goal.
Do you like producing things as much as you like skiing, or do you like skiing more?
I feel like up until right about now, it's like pretty 50-50, which is cool.
Because that's just my prediction on your future.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely like
production.
It went. I mean, yeah, that's kind of like how things are going. It was like fully skiing and then a little bit of production, and then now they're leveled out right in the middle. And I think that production's going to overtake the skiing side. But I'm always going to ski. Like I always want to like. I always want to like, for as long as I can, I want my sponsors to be down with what I'm doing, and like even if it's like kind of a deal where I'm like working as a producer and then sometimes skiing, like I just want to keep working for the same people that have supported me for so long that, you know, I owe it to them.
Yeah. Well, I think there's plenty of opportunities between the 3 companies that you've created a relationship with future stuff.
Yeah.
Word. Iberg, give him the list.
All right, buddy. So when we created this show, Bill Casabon asked me, he's like, well, what's your reoccurring theme? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. He's like, well, like, you know how, because I base kind of, I don't know, Drink Champs is my favorite podcast. The only one I listen to is a hip hop one. And it's just kind of like giving people their flowers through all generations of the genre of the music. So that's how Phil and I did Giving Flowers, and we had reoccurring themes and all this shit. But with this one, Ethan and I didn't really get to that level. We just knew new head, old head. And so Phil's like, well, I'll get you something. So he's like, you know how like in that Drink Champs, they'd have like battles of like the person has to pick their favorite rapper and then name 2 people, and then if they say both because they don't want to name someone, they have to drink. Do that. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't know shit. So he sent me a list. So we're going to name 2 skiers And you have to say who you like more as a
Two
skier.
skiers.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
He's gonna go through a list, and you got to
And
say.
this is pretty much like an old head generation versus new head.
Oh,
So
okay.
you might
Like you're
not
gonna
know
pair it. It's gonna be multiple pairs of two.
Yeah,
And I just say which. Okay, got
Yep.
it. All right.
So our first one is Mango and Pep.
Mango.
Alex Hall or Tanner Hall?
A-Hall.
Birdie or Crichton?
Crichton.
Damn, I thought you were going to go Nugets all the time.
Yeah.
Una, Una or Vanular?
Una.
What? Vanular is like the second gibberish kid.
I know.
Like you don't.
I know. Okay,
that.
that one is that is a tough one because of like everything that Vanular did back in the day. But like, dude, Una is like one of the best skiers ever. Like straight, like there's so many tricks that he's done that no one will ever do, and they're not even like big tricks. It's like he's like the epitome of like butters and taps. It's like he's done so many different like butter hand drag variations that probably no one will ever do.
And he's your age, like, and he's gonna go forever.
He might even be like a year younger than me or something.
Yeah, 26 around, whatever.
Yeah, we had him on the show. You'll hear from him.
Fuck yeah. Oh, yeah.
Quinn or Sammy C?
Sammy.
Ed Joy or TJ Schiller?
Whoa. Dude, these are crazy combinations.
From Phil, he's an educated kid on
this. Oh, Phil made this list.
Yeah, we give it to everyone.
TJ.
Yeah. Auntie or Delorme?
Yo, fuck. Delorme. That might be the hardest one yet, but I gotta go with Delorme.
Danny B or Mick D?
Danny B.
My first gibberish rider ever.
Yeah.
Unicorn or Yoon Olsen?
Yoon Olsen.
Tour mode or Duncan Adams?
Tour mod.
Olivia or Maud?
Mod.
Hunter Hess or Phil Belanger?
Hunter.
Mikael BK or Mike Hornbeck?
Hornbeck.
All right, that's our list, man.
Damn, that's it. I wonder what Phil was doing when he made that list. Just like, I wonder if he would just freestyle it and made it in like.
No, he was purposely knew
really
that it would be hard for everyone. I can see he concepted why you would think.
Yeah.
You know, like Ed Joy and TJ Schiller, they're both youth, one love.
So, but the only two that are even like comparable that you said were Auntie and Delorme. Like as far as like similar ways of skiing, everyone else was just like so all over the place. But I see it. I see the vision.
But they're all originals.
Yeah, for sure. That's sick.
Sick. Well,
Fuck yeah, man! Thank you so much for this. It was a pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to talk skiing for 3 hours with you.
We just
fucking stoked on everything you've done. Stoked on to watch you do, and man, just big up yourself.
Oh yeah, thank you guys so much.
Dude, thank you so much, Pete. It was great. I remember why I wanted to have you on. I felt this exact same way last time I interviewed you. You're just the man, dude. It was great talking.
That was appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Dude. Go have some dinner. We'll do an outro when you're gone, and that'll be it.
Sweet. Awesome. Thanks again, guys. Have a good night. Peace.
Dude, so what'd you think? Did I pick him good or what?
Super stoked on him, man. I know, like, it's so funny. I know exactly who he's going to become. Like, I know everything about his trajectory. I see his power. I see his desire to want more. I see his desire to use opportunity. I see his, like, idea of not thinking anything could be, like, he doesn't have one idea that could be worse ever. It always can be better. So, yeah, he's ill as fuck.
Yeah.
Pretty good call on that one.
Yeah, dude, he was, I I remember the first time I walked away interviewing him, like, holy shit, I want to stay in touch with this guy because he's just doing so much.
He's gonna run a whole corporate program of marketing and like whatever someday, because he's gonna like meet the people. They're gonna like him. He works hard and delivers, and he'll climb the ladder of working hard. And he's gonna do a great job because of the people that like he met through the sport of skiing.
Yeah.
And once again, skiing, man.
He's so good. That was one of my favorites. That was
all from filming kids.
Yeah.
Homie he's gonna make his whole career by filming his friends that we don't know their names. And when he like has something, the whole reason why he has something in the future was because he had passion to ski and film skiing.
Yeah.
It's wicked.
So wicked, dude. He's great. How many doobies we smoke? 3 hours almost on the dot, so that should be 9. Where are we ringing in at?
10.
10.
So 3.33 DPH.
There we go. There we go. And who do we have next time? I don't even know. It's an old head.
Dude, I don't know either. Like, we're going to say from right now, we're going to call them bonus awesome shows. I know I'm going to be in Andorra. We'll see if we can get some other on the line. I'm going to go run on the road now.
Yeah.
You got to start some shit to do some business. So we will try to pound out as many as we can after this and round it out. Awesome, man. It was a pleasure.
That was awesome, man. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Adios. See you next week.
Have a great night.
Peace.
Peace.